Actually, the anima effects I do have as a night cast. I can spend twice as many motes.
Yeah. Hi, everybody.
So
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Game night.
So I can go to 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's your advantage because of your stealth.
Yeah.
You can kind of avoid some of that. Okay, so
So we're playing Exalted. Dale
Yes.
is the
storyteller.
storyteller for this evening. He's the guy in the sun. There's Exalted.
Yep. Exalted first edition by White Wolf. They're on a third edition by Onyx Path Publishing. This is the original Exalted from like 2002, 2003 by the old White Wolf games. So it's very much in line with the old Storyteller, Vampire the Masquerade, Werewolf the Apocalypse,
Changeling, etc.
Changeling the Dreaming, Mage the Awakening, Wraith the Oblivion. This is not monsters such as those. It's a little different. This is...
Godlings.
Yeah, sort of. You guys are essentially demigods, and it's kind of the first age of man, second age of man, technically. So it's the prehistory of that world, if you want to think of it that way.
And TikTok, we are now live on Facebook and Twitch. If you want to check out those streams, go ahead and be sure to follow all of our Linktree information for all of our social media platforms.
Thanks, Little Rob.
Yay.
Okay, so we were talking about essence. So that's spending essence, regaining essence. You cannot recover any motes if you're engaged in strenuous activity.
Thank you.
If at ease but not completely relaxed, such as watching an artistic performance, taking a leisurely stroll, or debating with a realm courtier.
Or watching the Raconteur Society on Tuesday night.
Yeah. Nice.
Recharge your essence.
Yeah.
Actually, it all depends on how much you laugh.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Because if you're watching Red Dwarf, you're not getting any essence. Okay, you recover spent motes at a rate of 4 per hour. That's if you're just relaxing. Now, anybody attuned to your wagon would get 4 on top of that because of your wagon.
So it's 4 naturally.
4 naturally. And then if you are completely relaxed, for example, sleeping or receiving a massage, you recover motes at the rate of 8 per hour. So like if you guys camp out,
massage is a skill.
if you guys camp out next to your wagon and sleep for the night,
Massage.
you would get the 8 plus the 4 for your wagon. Okay. Characters first generate their personal essence and then regenerate their peripheral essence. So if you spent personal essence during the day, you would get that. You would start getting that back. If you spend any peripheral, then you would start getting that back once your personal is up to full. And you can't have more than what you started with.
Now, what about our familiars?
They regain it the same way. I think they get it. I'll have to look. They might actually do it by rate by their dots. I'll look. So yeah, and manses are different, but your wagon is like a mini manse. So that I made those. That's kind of a very low rating because it's a wagon, but it's
Does it have
still
a Tesla logo on it?
No.
okay. So while I'm right here, let me see if they have what it says about the familiars. In here.
Hi, Brendan. Hi, Robert. Go ahead and hang out with us for a little while, huh?
I can look that up later because I don't know. The familiars, if you have a familiar, depending on the dots, you can touch the familiar and they have like 5 motes of essence that you have at your disposal. I can't remember if it's 3 dots
Out of
or 4
GMs,
dots.
readings 1 and all. Assume motes ain't the thing around castles. Oh, loud.
Yeah, not those motes.
Oh, if I could throw a die across the pond.
We are so mailing you foam dice so you can just throw them at yourself.
Throw 'em at himself.
We do want video of it though.
Actually, I'm going to go for my anima banner. It's going to be a Northern Lights.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Like an Aurora Borealis kind of shimmering.
Yeah.
That's cool. Because then it'd be like your anima banner and then it's like, yeah, that would be cool. Okay. Familiars. Who has familiars of 3 or
Yes.
more?
He says it can be arranged.
3.
Huh?
It can be arranged, he says.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh.
Anybody have it
Corrected
at
himself.
anybody
So what-
have it at 4? Familiar.
Yes, but where are on the familiar?
It's
What are we looking at?
oh no, on your
You're
sheet
rating.
for your background familiar.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Does anybody
Okay.
have 4?
I've got 4.
Hold on, I'm still.
That's why I said
Familiar.
Yes, I have 4.
Okay.
Did yours talk?
Okay.
No, it doesn't communicate with it.
Familiar of 3, just this is all you need to know. When it is touching your character, it makes an additional 5 motes of essence available. The essence is stored in the familiar, but is otherwise treated as personal essence.
Hey, Mouse Maker sent 3 fire. Thanks, Mouse.
Thanks.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Mouse.
4.
Mouse speakers. Check out their.
Okay. An S.
Family RPG Live.
Farmer RPG Live.
Family RPG Live on Twitch.
On a familiar of 4, it's the same thing. When you touch it, you have 5 motes of essence, but you guys have like near perfect communication with your animal. They totally understand you and everything. So
Tonight we are playing Exalted First Edition by White Wolf Games.
all right.
Check out, they're eating. Yeah.
Couple other things.
We're eating because it's Mike's birthday party.
Yay. It would have been Brad's, but he couldn't make it.
Yeah.
Brad's in spirit.
Yeah. So,
All right, Pete.
couple things we'll need to know, and I'll remind you when we get started.
Anastasia, hi. Mom says hi.
Hello, hey mom.
Mom,
Hey,
hey,
Mom.
Anastasia.
Okay,
Your mom says, hey, you're early. No, we're
We're doing fairly well, yeah.
late as always.
willpower. The 2 things about willpower that are really important. You can spend 1 point of willpower to get an automatic success on a roll.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now you have to declare it before you roll, obviously. Or, and this is different, you can spend a point to activate your virtue. You add the dots of your virtue as dice to 1 roll. The number of dice, or the number of dots in that virtue, is how many times the story you can use it. The story,
Oh, so that was
not a
why
day.
you had the virtue.
And then, no, you do, so if you spend a willpower point and activate a virtue, you don't get any automatic successes, but you get to add that virtue rating to your dice roll. So if you have a valor of 3 and you're fighting someone and you want to spend a willpower point to activate that virtue of valor, you would roll, but you'd get those 3 extra dice to roll on top of it.
Now, do you have to add it in a way that fits?
No, you just, it's a mechanic. But that does bring me to the most important thing about this game, which Bobby and I did a mock battle, and boy, this was fun. So if you need to get up and act stuff out, please do. Stunts. So the thing that sets this game apart, because it is very based on like anime and like the action, it's like over the top kung fu action movies, anime. If you've ever seen the 2002 He-Man cartoon, if you ever watched The Matrix, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, the crazy stuff they do in those movies, you can do. Stunts. You describe how you're doing it.
Mouse said happy birthday, Mike.
Oh, thank you so much.
During a battle, if you declare I'm using a stunt, you describe what you're doing. I hit him with my mace is not a stunt. That is very boring. I swing the mace around and leave a trail of hair fine essence behind it and whip it right across his opponent's head into him. That is a stunt. I jump up off the wagon, spin in midair, do a somersault flip, and bring it down on his head. That is a stunt.
What do
Stunt.
stunts do?
Kabong!
Okay, stunts, depending on what you do.
Kabong.
If your stunt is just a really cool way to do something, really cool way you described it, I'll give you a bonus die for pulling off the
Oh,
stunt.
okay.
If you use something in the environment, I can give you 2 dice. If you do something, it says in the book, if you do something where all the other players at the table go, damn, that was cool, you get 3 dice. Now, if you pull off a stunt, you regain essence immediately for doing it,
Oh.
whether you're using a charm or not. You don't have to use a stunt when you use a charm. You can just do
What
it.
I had a hard time figuring out when we were doing the mock battle was that I had to announce before what I intend. If I intend to do a stunt, what I intend to be doing. It's not like, oh, I do this, and what can I? He can't tell me. I have to say, oh, I intend to do it this cool way. And
Like the one guy
show
who
him.
came at you with a club and you used your bow to like tangle it and then hit him with your axe, kind of like parried it, and then kept his hand trapped so she could smack him in the face with the axe.
Yeah.
That's a stunt. And you get 1 extra die. If it's successful, you'll get essence back. So if you've used like a couple points of personal essence, you might get that right back. The other thing is, if you fail a stunt, it's not like you went bust or anything. It just failed, and
Yeah.
whatever you were trying to set up probably didn't.
It didn't work.
Right. Okay.
Oh yeah, no.
For everybody at home, a very, very, very quick rundown on what Exalted is. Like I said, Exalted is the first age, the second age of man, known as the Age of Sorrows. It's kind of a prehistory, so there's not a certain look, but it's like feudal Japan, ancient Egypt, swashbuckling pirates, Vikings. Some stuff is from like medieval times in Britain. It's a little mishmash of all that stuff.
Did you check the math on the essence? Because I'm looking at this and I'm wondering if I got it right.
Oh, I didn't check it, but I can read it to you, how you calculate your essence.
The personal essence is 3 times her essence plus the willpower.
Should be.
Right?
Yeah, let me find it.
Because I have an essence of 3
Yeah,
and a willpower of 7,
yeah.
which should be 16.
Let me check.
3 times 3 plus 7.
Oh no, math.
Yeah, really.
Do I have to take off my shoes?
You may.
I can only count to 19. I won't
Okay.
talk about certain things.
Essence. Yeah, your personal essence pool is 3 times your essence.
Ooh, we have been joined by Thor Oldenson.
Ooh, wow.
Woo, welcome, Thor.
Plus your willpower weight.
How's Ragnarok these days?
9 plus 7, 16. Whereas I have 14 written down.
Okay,
on the
yeah, it
sheet,
should be
so-
16. Yeah.
And then the
Peripheral is your essence pool is 7 times your essence
Okay, so 21,
plus your willpower
28.
plus the sum of your virtues.
So 2.
Yeah, we're still going through like
Nine.
character creation here a bit and hammering out all our characters.
37, which is
yeah.
what I have written down.
Yeah.
So that
Okay,
was
so you're right. You're right.
So it was 2 off on the personal,
Okay.
which could have been momentous there.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, anyway, this is the Age of Sorrows. In the beginning,
In the beginning,
there was a
potato salad. Howard the duck.
I will not
armored.
throw a dice at you because I like that movie.
Oh, I like the movie.
Yeah.
Stand up.
Just you shouldn't say it during Exalted.
Well, in that case, I should throw all the dice.
There are lunars. I could make Howard the Duck and it's Exalted. Okay, so in the beginning there was a void.
Legends of Krallos, man.
There was a void. It was nothing but essence and chaos. Out of this was born the primordials, ancient unknowable beings. Think kind of Cthulhu and celestial gods. Malpheus, the god of, or the primordial of death. Atocthan, the primordial god of organization and building. Luna, all that stuff. They created creation, which is the world you are on. It is a flat disk. It is a flat world. It is not supported by 4 elephants and a turtle. That's totally different. But it is a flat disk. The center of creation is known as the Blessed Isle. And it stretches out. The farther east you go,
It's a silly.
the farther east you
Only
go
home.
is woods, forests, and if you go too far east, it becomes impenetrable jungle, woods. It's just a wall of vegetation. The west is the seas, the oceans. The farther west you go, you'll eventually get to the point where you can't tell the difference between the ocean and the horizon, and it's just endless. The north is the frozen wastes. The farther north you go, the colder it gets, and if you go too far north, again, it's just blinding, bitter, cold, and snow. You're in a white void.
Hey, Thor is talking to us.
Oh, Thor.
He says, nice. He's just drinking a beer while doing homework. He doesn't have anyone to play D&D with.
Oh,
Oh, we're
So
sorry.
he's chilling. Well, you can watch us play. It's not D&D, it's Exalted, but
yeah.
and he loves the book collection.
Oh.
That would be Dennis's.
Oh,
Dragon
yeah.
Den. That's where we're playing.
Probably. To the
Well, we roll with you in Valhalla.
to the south is deserts, so it's as far as you can go, and eventually it just becomes scorching heat and sand. So obviously there's elemental pulls. Center of creation is, I think they just call it Earth,
That would be Guildford.
Earth, Wind, and Fire. To the north is air. To the south is fire. To the east is wood. And to the west is water.
Wind.
Yeah, the elements.
Your powers combined, we form Exalted.
And these represent the 5 elemental dragons.
Well, now if I have to be little Rob tonight, I gotta go.
Yeah, a lot.
There's your win.
And
There's your win.
constantly inject pudding into his
And pudding.
And pudding.
So the primordials created creation. Eventually they came up with the idea of creating humans.
Alfred goes,
and
go
stuff like
get
that.
west, young man.
Once they created humans, they were like, this is neat, but this is a lot of work. Why don't we create some actual gods to take over and
Middle
run this?
management.
Yeah, basically.
God, these guys are hard to take care of.
The primordials created the celestial city, the heavenly city known as Yushan, and they retired there, and they played what is called the games of divinity. Unknowable, kind of like Zeus and the gods
Yeah,
of
the same
Olympus.
Mount Olympus kind of thing.
Yeah. My favorite example is that nobody knows what these games are. And it's like super addictive and super, you have to join the club to play these games. Somebody said they're actually role playing. That's a good example.
Speaking of which, thanks for following Thor.
Thank you.
Look at Thor.
So
May your beer always be cold.
the
Oh, yeah.
primordials retired to Yushan, left the gods to run stuff. The gods were like,
Or
and
warm if you're-
when they did, they
Yeah,
said,
they-
look, we're creating you to run things, but there's one thing: you cannot ever attack us. We created you. You have to do what we say. You can never rise up against us. So here you go. Tired to play. The primordials retired to play the games of divinity. The gods were left to rule. All these
And the
things,
rest of us have to drool.
wars, famine, climactic upheavals all happen. The gods are like, oh my god, this is a lot of work. We need some help. So
We need middle management.
yeah, we need some department heads.
Don Quixote. Sorry, he's actually watching. I just thought I'd yell that.
Me, Don Quixote? Wow.
So basically they created, with the help of one of the primordials, they created Exalted. What they did was they chose humans who were above and beyond what they could be, or
I'm good.
on the verge, and they exalted them.
Excellent.
Basically, they made these guys demigods. And it's like, all right, look, you guys can help us run things, among the mortals.
All right. Whatever you say, Bob.
As things were getting underway, the gods were getting jealous of the primordials because they're the ones causing all these problems doing their games of divinity. And the gods were like, you know what? We want to try these games of divinity. They're just ruining everything. They're making us work harder, but we can't rise up against them. But we do have these exalted. There's no thing about that. So when they created the exalted, when they created the exalted, there were several types. There were the solars, who were the demigods of the unconquered sun, who is kind of like a cross between Zeus and Ra, if you think of them that way. Then there were the lunars, who were shapeshifters, and they're not like werewolves. They can, if they taste the blood of an animal, they can take any aspect of that animal into them. So they can shapeshift into different animals or combinations thereof.
I consume thee and become the power of hamster.
Speed of the puma! So basically, the lunars, their celestial god was
I don't know what the hell I am.
Luna, the moon. Sidereals followed the 5 maidens, and they were basically, how would you describe it? Fortune tellers. They can predict the future by the loom of fate, kind of the sisters of fate. that's what their whole thing is. They can actually predict the future in aspects. They're martial artists above anybody. So the Sidereals were there. Then they had the Dragon-Blooded, also known as the Terrestrial Exalted. The Celestial Exalted, when you have kids, your power is so great you cannot pass that power on to a child. When you die, your spark can sometimes be reborn into another body, but they have to be fairly mature to do that. There's just so much power contained in it.
And that's what happened to us. We worked
Yes.
with some other celestials.
Yeah,
So we got the Allspark, so right?
yeah, basically.
Okay, so we're the Autobots.
Yeah.
All right, as long as I know.
The Lunars and the Sidereals, same thing. If they die, their spark can actually reincarnate in another being. Now, that being may or may not have memories, like of their first lives or past lives. They might get glimpses. They might not know what it is, but that can happen. Some don't even realize what's going on. The Dragon-Blooded, as the Terrestrials were called, were their enforcers. So they were like your department specialists. You had the Primordials, the Gods, the Celestial, and the Terrestrial. The Terrestrials were massive in number. They could pass on their powers to their children because they're
Which ones were these? The Celestials?
the Terrestrials,
Terrestrial.
the Dragon-Blooded.
Dragon Ball. Okay.
Their power is a lot weaker than the Celestial Exalted, but they can pass it on through their bloodline, so there were more of them.
And that's why they have the colleges and the schools.
Yes.
Because their children have it and their teachers.
Yes. Yes. So what happened is the gods decided, we want a piece of what the Primordials have. We can't rise up against them. Let's recruit the Exalted and rise up against these Primordials. They're done. They're useless. We don't need them. We're doing just fine without them. So they did. The Celestial Exalted and the Dragon-Blooded, the Terrestrial, rose up with the gods at the gods' wishes, banished, or they actually killed, I think, 2 or 3 Primordials, but it was a bad thing. It was like 3 nuclear bombs went off. But they banished a lot of them and got rid of them. Imprisoned some of them below the earth or in different realms. So the gods were like, great, we're free. We're going to go to the heavenly city and we'll live there and help you guys out. We're going to try out this Games of Divinity. And they got hooked. So the Solars were left to run everything, and they're like, all right, gods, we need some help. Well, we're busy. You guys got it. You got it. You're
I
fine.
just got a new graphics card.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Yeah. I already pre-ordered this game like 6 millennia ago. But the Solars, meanwhile, were left in charge of the mortals.
Well,
When
don't
the Prime-
touch your screen, Don Quixote.
When the Primordials were banished, they cursed the Solars
Whoa.
that they would become corrupt. So when the Primordials got banished, the Solars were fine for a while, but then they started to give in to greed or hubris or power, lust. They started to change. They weren't as noble as they were.
So they became politicians.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
So the Solars started to kind of like take over. The Sidereals consulted the Loom of Fate. They said there are 2 options. Oh, and the Lunars were like their companions, their mates, their generals. So the Solars ruled during the daytime. The Lunars took their turn at night. They were like your secret police.
Or it's Igor, vampire. Let's race to do the night.
Sure. The Sidereals consulted the Loom of Fate and found out there were 3 options available. 1, we talk to the Solars, try and talk them down, make sure, hey, do you see what you're doing? Get back on track. The Loom of Fate basically said, probably not going to work. They're probably going to get mad. So, the second option, let's talk to the Solars and the Lunars and see if the Lunars will help us keep the Solars in check. The Loom of Fate said, no clear answer, check back later. The last one was, we could rise up and defeat the Solars before they damn us all and ruin creation. And they were like, that's what we need to do. So the Dragon-Blooded and the Sidereals teamed up and they had the Great Usurpation. The Terrestrials rose up, just like the Exalted rose up at the gods' behest and banished the Primordials. The Terrestrial rose up at the Sidereals' request and slaughtered the Solars. Once that was done, they were like, all right, we need to figure out how we're going to cover this. The Sidereals split into two factions. The Bronze faction said, we made the right choice. Okay, we did it right. That's what we were supposed to do. To make sure everybody doesn't know what's going on here, we are going to create a religion called the Immaculate Order. It'll be the religion of the realm. It's going to preach and teach that the terrestrial, the dragon-blooded, are the pinnacles of mankind. They are gods among men. They are the heroes who saved us from all these depredations. So you guys are going to be risen up. The Solars, the Celestial Exalted as they were called, we will rename them Anathema, demons. They were here to corrupt people. They were driving things worse. And the dragon-blooded rose up and defeated these demons. So they are the pinnacles of man that everyone should aspire to. And we will be the Immaculate Order. We will kind of hide behind the scenes, make sure that keeps going. We're also, because the Solars would reincarnate, we're going to create the Wild Hunt. We can consult the Loom of Fate, and basically if one of these guys starts to reincarnate, we'll go find that person and kill them before they get their power. Before they figure out what's going on, we're going to kill them. Keep them down. Seemed to work okay. Now the Sidereals, the Bronze faction, did that. The Gold faction basically said, I think we backed the wrong horse. I don't think we should have done that. Something's wrong. They were like, no, it's going to be fine. Well, when the Dragon-Blooded took over, they eventually kind of became decadent and started kind of like being their own version of greedy and sneaky. They had one among them, the Scarlet Empress, who rose to power. And she kind of kept everything in check, but the way she did it was like different marriages to different houses and keeping people at each other's throats. She never claimed an heir. She pitted all the houses against each other so nobody would ever take her power. Well, 5 years ago, she went missing. And now all the Dragon-Blood are like, she doesn't have an heir. Now all the houses are fighting amongst each other. They used to, you pay us fealty out in the regular lands. You pay us money for protection. Now it's like, you pay us money, but we don't have time to protect you. I got to watch my back against my other brothers who are trying to get me out of the throne. So the people are like, well, this kind of sucks. Some of the outlying lands are like
Taxation without
why are we
representation.
paying these guys, they're not even protecting us.
Taxation without defense.
Yeah. So they're starting to rumble about revolt. Throwing it like the normal people are like, this sucks. Why do we even pay them money? But if you don't, they could come in and take your stuff. So it's kind of like that situation is going on. Scarlet Empress has been gone for 5 years. The Bronze faction of Sidereals and the Terrestrial are still trying to kind of keep it together. Like, no, the Bronze faction is like, this is all going to be fine. It's all going to work out. That's what they told us.
Nothing to see here.
The Gold faction is like, you did back the wrong horse. It's getting worse. It's getting like even worse than when the Solars were in charge. So the Bronze faction sends out the Wild Hunt to look for exalted Solars who reincarnate, trying to kill them. The Gold faction is trying to protect them. They believe that if the Solars come back into power, they might be able to set things right. But the Gold faction is not altogether great because they want to use the Solars to their own ends too. Now, the Wild Hunt is kind of in disarray. It's hard to keep track of, so a lot of Solars are popping up and just on their own. But they all have these memories of like, the strong power of something's not right in the world. I need to set it right. You guys are heroes. You guys are heroes at heart. And this game is all about second chances. So you have been reborn into another body. Your original Solar, we can talk about that for a minute. You are now somebody else, but you have this spark in you, this power. Most of you know that if you follow the Immaculate Order, like Wade, Mike, the teachings of the Immaculate Order, you are a demon. But you're like, I'm not a demon. I know I'm not. You guys out in the north, some of the ones from the other areas might be like, I don't know what's happening to me. But village elders will be like, well, we've been told you're demons, but I don't think you are. But it's like, you're going to be hunted. because everybody else in the world has been raised for the last couple centuries.
Can we buy that?
Yeah, basically the last couple centuries or more, everybody in the world is told that you're a demon. You are here to harm. But there are rumblings among some of the older passed down generations and on the outlying skirts of the threshold or the realm that are like, I never believed those stories. I think you're something more. I think you were something good. But, the other 20 people in my village want to hang you, so I don't know what to do. So the thing about this is you are demigods. You have this awesome power. But if you go around showing it off, you're going to be mobbed and killed again. Congratulations, here in a month, you'll pop up in some other poor schlub's body, maybe. So you kind of have to keep that on the down low. It's kind of like your superhero with your great power comes great responsibility. I'm Spider-Man, but I can't tell anybody. That kind of thing. So, which is another cool aspect of this game that I thought.
Dale, do you have my dice over there?
Yes, I do.
forgot my dice.
Yes, I do. Let me pass that over.
Thank you. Thank you.
Meanwhile, the Lunars, back to them. When the usurpation happened, the Lunars were like, well, screw this. I'm out. They're going to hunt us next. So they went out in the wild where they were comfortable. They've been out there so long. Most of them are like, you know what? I hate society. I absolutely hate it. I'm at home. I'm at home in the wilds. They're starting to become like the Joker. Some people just want to watch the world burn. Most of the Lunars are starting to think that way. Now, if the Solars were to come back, maybe they could kind of say, no, don't kill them. But we do need to fix it.
Don't kill him.
Yeah.
Just maim him a bit.
Just name them a bit.
Make him limp.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't need their legs.
So,
He does.
Legs
He
are
does.
nice and tasty.
Yeah.
so the gist of the world is you guys are in it. You have this power. It's up to you how you want to use it. Now, I spoke about your first Solars, so I've talked about this to some of you guys. I don't know if you've had any thoughts. Do you have an idea of what your first Solar was, or do you want to play it as you have no clue? Or do you want to just get little glimpses? Like, Bobby, tell us about your first Solar.
My previous solar, I have some
Yeah, the original Solar
Brief.
from the first stage.
small, tiny glimpses. Was an advisor to a mortal king, and that solar thought he could rule the kingdom better. So he imprisoned the king and took over the throne, but there were too many rebels going against him because, he overthrew the king. And the constant fighting to defend his throne caused him to leave and hide in the north. The wild hunt followed and killed him, but he hid his armor, which is what I found as an artifact.
Yeah. So that one gave into basically hubris. I can run this place better, and then was like, oh crap, they're really mad at me, and went off. And her character had an incident where she, Exalted, wandered out in the ice wastes and found his armor. And it was like, did you find it, or did it call to you? She doesn't know. So that kind of thing. Mike, you had an idea for your first.
Yeah, so my guy was pretty much part of that first age group.
Yeah,
And he had become just so, oh gosh, what is the word?
Gluttonous.
Fat. Gluttonous, thank you. And just so into the debauchery and just everything. And then he was fat and just, he didn't care about anything else. And so when they actually came to kill him, it wasn't that difficult because he couldn't really move very fast. So it just kind of let me summon up this power after I eat this taco. So, I mean,
Jabba.
and of course my little familiar was there too. So it's like, oh my God. So anyway, he's gone through reincarnations many times over, and like this time he's trying to appear to that, so he has his temperance is his highest virtue, and if he fails, he flips right back into that sloughing guy. So it's like, oh, forget it, why am I even trying? Let's get some drinks, let's get some ladies, or whatever it takes, and whoever it takes,
Let's have some cake.
and we're gonna eat it too.
Yeah.
But all you're gonna come with me because that's the way he feels. So, yeah, so that's kind of his backstory. He's trying to not return to that state.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's a constant battle. You know, it's kind of like somebody with some sort of addiction or something. You know, it's hard to fight that continuously if it's embedded in your soul. So he's kind of that trying to keep going and get past that. But sometimes he slips up. I mean, he still is human, even if he is a demigod. You know, he's still not onto that GameStop kind of play. So, but yeah, that's kind of what it is. And what his past is kind of like whenever this little monkey guy, this little familiar guy, reincarnates, it comes seeking him, and once it finds him, good idea, Brad.
Yeah.
When it finds him, it basically reborns him. It basically comes back, and the little guy's basically kind of like a little ferret almost.
Yeah.
Ferret monkey.
Just so you know, I wrote that down somewhere. Oh, yeah.
Arctic Chimeric.
It is an Arctic Chimeric, which is a combination of chinchilla, lemur, and ferret.
Was that on that sheet you gave me?
Yes, I wrote it on your familiar.
Oh, okay.
sheet.
All
It's
right.
an Arctic Chimeric. It's a little monkey. It's kind of like a little bit aggressive with people it doesn't know, likes to bite and grab at people.
Mm-hmm.
That's the lemur part of it. But the chinchilla is so laid back, it kind of cancels that out, like Bobby said. Chinchilla's like, yeah, that's cool. I'm going to sleep now.
Like I'm over my belly.
But the ferret part of it is like, ooh, shiny. I'm going to take that.
Yep. So we'll get that.
Steal bits of jade and stuff like that, or rocks and things like that. So that's probably where your resources came from.
Mm-hmm.
He's been hauling around this sack of goodies. Look, I stole thousands of dollars for you.
So in a way, it's kind of like that past, the bad and the good. It's kind of like we're trying to remind him of like to go on, and at the same time, it's kind of like showing like there is too his primordial essences in that little creature of what he could do and can be. So he's always constantly fighting it. But yep.
Okay.
And then like on the Isle, once he got thinking, he's like, oh boy, I got to watch out now.
Yeah.
So, but anyway.
So Dennis and Wade, do you have an idea, or do you just like want to be oblivious to it?
Valis is incomprehensible. He doesn't know.
Got it.
But, that's Valis, and her companion is a dire wolf.
And don't we
Storm
love
Shadow.
Valis's costume?
Yeah.
I absolutely adore Valis's costume.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Excellent.
All I've got is my little braid.
They-
Oh. look.
Actually, for Barnabas,
Yeah, go ahead.
because I think the Nightcast has always been the stealthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even in the first stage, that's what they were.
Okay. So the first stage, it was a spy and a assassin,
Risha,
Makes
Risha.
sense.
and basically the I guess he got burned in Spook Speak, so he had the
Put it over here so you can see. Oh, you can talk and I can just show him.
that's not good. What?
No, that way you can talk and you can see him.
No, the got ratted out, and when he was out spying, and basically got caught and tortured and killed.
Okay. Yep, that's probably the dragon blooded when they came to
Yeah.
find you. Order 66. Execute Order 66.
So now that he's been reborn, he only knows a little bit of that, but he knows enough to basically have this grudge and
Against the dragon blooded.
against the world. at this
Okay.
point.
Oh, okay. All right. Good. All right.
Got a
So-
chip on his shoulder.
Yeah. That sounds good. Okay. And yeah, you might not know much about your, like, if Alice, if you have no clue, I mean, you know that something has happened, but you have no memories of any of that. But there might be times during the story when it's like you might walk into a city and be like, I've been here, but I've never been here.
Deja vu.
That kind of thing. If it's
built this.
Rock and roll.
Hey, thanks, Chris Moore, for sharing the live video. We
Oh,
appreciate
thank you.
that.
Thank you.
All you guys on TikTok, if this is our backstage cam, so if you want to see a little cooler version of the gaming that we're doing tonight, Exalted, check out live on FB, Facebook, and Twitch.
Yep. Raconteur Society.
Raconteur Society.
At least you didn't say the backdoor camp. So
yeah. Yeah.
No, I left that at home.
So yeah,
Whoa.
sometimes you guys know I'm a very character-driven kind of DM. It's all about your characters, so I might throw little ideas or hooks in there to kind of spark a memory that might be important to you later, but not always. I'm not going to rely on it as like, you all walk into a bar and I've been here, I'm dead. No, but there might be times it'll be like, that'll be cool for your character. Okay. So, we're going to go ahead and jump right in. So, you guys have met, about a day and a half ago.
Phallus and I met first.
You guys have met before. You're both
Actually,
north.
so what cast do we have?
Oh, yeah.
here
Okay,
tonight?
so there
Do
are
we
the
have
different casts.
full-
Yeah, there's the Dawn cast, which are the warriors of the Unconquered Sun. These people are like the fighters.
and that's Phallus
Valis
tonight.
is our Dawn cast. She
Yay.
is a barbarian queen. As obvious by her picture, I would not comment on her breasts at all.
Yeah.
She'd pound me into the
She
ground.
definitely would cleave you in two.
It might be an enjoyable way to go,
Yep.
but I won't. She'll probably sick
Down a little bit.
direwolf on me.
There we go. Yeah.
Okay. So Valis is our Dawn cast. The next cast is the Zenith cast, the Noonday Sun. It's what everyone looks up to. So these people are the entertainers, the poets, the I guess you could say priests, the priests, the inspiring talkers. Rob will be playing our Zenith, Cicada. He's not here yet, so you guys have not met him yet. Next is the Twilight cast. They are kind of the scholars, the researchers, the inventors, the people who want to know more. Would you like to know more?
Click on me. Click here.
Mike is going to be playing our Twilight character, Twilight cast.
Hello.
We still don't know his name. Maybe he has amnesia.
I'm the bureaucrat with no name.
Okay.
Bureaucrat? What?
With no name.
The next cast.
I can't
is-
fill out any forms. How is this possible?
The next cast is the Night cast. These guys are the assassins, the spies. While the Solars ruled during the day during the First Age, the Lunars worked very closely with the Night cast to keep an eye on rumblings in the dark. You know, people talking about. Stop.
Who did that?
I got to be Little Rob.
No, you don't. That was a choice.
So the Night cast are kind of the stealthy characters. We have two in this game. Wade is playing Barnabas, who is a Night cast, and he is more like the con man stealth guy, right? Mm-hmm. Brad is also
Excuse me.
playing Suatsu.
Sorry,
He's
home.
also a Night cast, but he is more along the
Like
lines
blew
of
their
the
ears out.
investigative assassin. He kind of is an investigator and a very brilliant warrior in his own right. And the last cast is the Eclipse cast. These guys are
What? Yeah.
These guys are the diplomats, the peacemakers, the bargain keepers, the pact makers.
The politicians.
Sort of more like
Negotiators.
negotiator, more like
The
promise.
arbitrators.
Yeah, pinky promises and spitting in your palm is a big thing for them.
Pinky swear.
Yeah, Bobby.
Arbitrator.
The arbitrator. Oh, I was
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're
in
fact is
the
stranger than fiction.
Tilted Elephant
Yeah.
video.
So Bobby is playing Raisha, who is an Eclipse cast. Now, one thing that's weird about the
Now
Eclipse
I'll
cast,
share my picture.
because they are diplomats and pact makers and deal makers and negotiators, she is the only cast that can learn charms from other types of Exalted.
Oh.
You guys, Solar Exalted charms is what you get. The Eclipse cast can actually talk to like Lunars and learn some of their charms. Or the
And I
Sidereals.
can do what as well? The Fae.
Oh yeah. When you guys encounter fair folk in this game are like really twisted. They are vicious. They like to keep humans as pets, drain their energy until they're just a husk.
More
And
of the
an
unseelie
emotionless-
type that you would know from
Yeah.
Changeling.
They're just an emotionless, brainless husk, and then they sell them back to the mortal people for slaves. They feed on dreams. They feed on emotions. Some of them can be noble, but they are all very chaotic beings. So when you guys encounter fair folk, it's like this could get really dangerous and dicey. See,
And the eclipse.
yeah, the
So
eclipse.
it's kind of like the real legend, kind of what they were.
Yes, yeah, very much more. Yeah, if you're White Wolf Changeling, Unseelie. When the eclipse walks in, there were ancient pacts made between the Solars and the Fair Folk in the first age that they still have to honor. So when she walks in, they can't do anything. If you're with her, she's like, "These are my friends." The Fair Folk are like, "Oh, if I could figure out how to put a bookcase on you, I will, because I'm not attacking you directly. It was an accident." But yeah, the eclipse can come in kind of handy with dealing with others. All right, so you guys, Valis and Raisha, you guys came from the north. You Exalted separately. You Exalted. You wanna? Well, no, we'll let you guys tell your own story. So you Exalted and you Exalted wandered the north looking for where you were going to go. Something or someone approached you, kind of explained to you maybe what's happening or what is happening, or maybe you just kind of figured it out from flashes of your memory.
What's in my brain?
Once you come to terms with what's happened to you, you're still kind of like, you know what to do, but you're not sure why you're doing it. But you do feel this pull to the east, the southeast. Like you need to go there. There's something calling you there. There's just like, I need to travel. I need to go southeast. So you guys set upon the road from the far north, the waste, the tundras, and the Arctic realms, to the southeast. On your way to the southeast, just as you got to where the east, or the north meets the east, where it is more like tundra and frozen grasslands and stuff, that's probably where you guys encountered each other. So you kind of recognize each other as kindred spirits from a distance, because you're the only wanderers out here. But actually, as you kind of get closer and meet, you feel an instant connection. There is something about each other that you're like, I feel very comfortable with this person, and maybe,
You know, you can fart around me. It's okay.
yes, maybe enough to where you just feel,
Well met, fellow traveler.
Yes.
and it's more than just a comfortable kindred spirit feeling. It's almost like, did I have a sister I didn't know about? You just feel this close bond, like you instantly could tell each other everything. You know, tomorrow night you're gonna have a pajama party with the polar bears and just tell each other all the juicy details of your teenage lives. That's what you're gonna do.
So Mucknut tried to climb into my bearskin cocoon thing. He found himself the next morning shivering in the snow, minus an appendage or two.
That's what you get. What you get.
So you guys met on the road, and you've been traveling for probably about, I'd say, at least a week together. So you guys have gotten pretty comfortable. You guys know each other. You're kind of the quiet one. Basically, you're the quiet one who seems to instinctively be able to tell about people. You're the one. You're much bigger. You're the one who's like, I'm gonna punch that guy's face.
Much more gregarious.
Yeah, much more open. It is funny if you look at your pictures side by side. Raisha has a wolf, and she's kind of slender, athletic.
Hold them both up there.
Raisha has a wolf and is very slender, athletic, uses a lot of archery. Valis is like 3 foot taller. Her wolf is like 6 times bigger because it's a dire wolf. So they look like big brother, big sister, or the pre-Hulk and post-Hulk versions of each other. So imagine these two wandering the north with their wolves. Raisha's wolf is a female, correct?
Yes.
And her name is...
Shy.
Yep. And Valis's wolf is a male.
Male shadow, storm shadow.
Storm Shadow. So watch out for Snake Eyes. He's also a good guy.
Doesn't talk much.
The two wolves actually kind of get along fine. They're like, oh, okay. Curl up next to each other. No mating. Not yet. They only met. They only just met. Come on.
What's
Well, I
not?
got smell a lot more butt here.
A lot more snipping to do.
Shy ain't like that.
Yeah. She's a lady. So
Be pretty pups though.
Yeah, it would be.
So you guys travel for about a week, and you kind of end up following the coast throughout the east. You're still heading south, but you're now going a little bit more. I guess it'd be if you look at the map there, see where the Blessed Isle is, and there's a large river that opens up right across from the east, and it looks like it leads right into that other river. See what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
That little point above that, it looks like a little nose or peninsula, little mini
Right here.
peninsula.
Or that there?
Yeah,
Which nose are you talking?
right there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys kind of have followed that coast for a little bit because there's a lot of towns along there, so you can get supplies. At one point, right up here above that, where it kind of indents, the ocean indents in before you get to that little jut out, you guys found a merchant, basically more of a trader, a trapper trader merchant on the very edge of the north. And Valis, you know he's one of your clan, like a cousin. So you guys visited him, and you know you've got all this stuff, and you're headed. It's getting warmer where you're going. We're like, man, we have all this crap to carry. That merchant cousin of yours is like, well, you can always leave it here. If you come back this way, just come and get it.
Outer Print says party at first sight. Woohoo.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, you know,
Kids.
you've got all these furs and stuff, and you're like, man, I don't know. It's like 30 degrees. I am burning up.
Yeah.
It's really hot. So the merchant kind of offers to take a lot of your gear that you might not need right away, that you're only going to need in the north. And he's like, if you ever come back to the north, just stop by and pick it up. I'll happily hold it for you. And no, I won't sell it out from under you because you will pound me into the ground. I know that. So, yeah. Yeah. You pat him on the head. He's 6'1". So a lot of your gear you can stash here, so you don't have to carry all these furs, because unfortunately, you guys from the north have a lot more to carry from like the guy from the south, or even the guy from the west. It's like, yeah,
Ceremonial loincloths.
they can always put clothes on. It's kind of hard for you guys to take all your clothes off and carry them around. Though I'm sure nobody would mind if you took all your clothes off.
Oh, hold on. That's later.
Okay. So anyway, you can leave a lot of your gear there, so you'll always have it to pick up if you ever go back north. On your way down, you kind of follow that coastline. A lot of the towns you have like
Got it.
you hear a lot more stories about. You're in the Threshold now. The Blessed Isle is known as the Realm. Around that coastline and a little bit beyond that is the Threshold. Those are the cities on the other side of the ocean that still pay fealty and abide by the dragon-blooded on the Blessed Isle, the dynasty, the Scarlet Empress's dynasty. So a lot of these towns along here, you see a lot of these dragon-blooded, a lot more so than in the north. They do have bastions in the north, guard towers and stuff where they like, you know, the dragon-blooded have a fortress here and they kind of rule over the land there. You guys in the north, though, are much more nomadic, so you don't have that a lot.
Hey,
But
somebody named RL said, "Hey, gang.
Hey!
What's up, Rob? How you doing?"
What's up?
But as you get down here, you notice there's much more of a presence and much more of a loyalty to these people. But as you travel, you do hear some rumblings a little bit about, oh, I heard out in the scavenger lands, which is farther away from the realm, headed toward the edge of the map. I heard in the scavenger lands, they're starting to fight back against the dragon-blooded. I can imagine that, you know, yeah, I hear rumblings of civil war and all this stuff. Just murmurs, really, than rumblings right now, but they're not careful. The dragon-blooded are going to come down on them hard, you know, blah, blah, blah. One of the towns you may actually hear somebody talk about the anathema. The anathema have started to return. Did you hear about this? There's more of them. Like the Wild Hunt used to take care of those, and I've heard there's more popping up. I don't believe it. You ever seen one? No, not that I know of. Right? They're not. It's a kid's scare tale. They're just trying to make you worried about it. Don't worry. This Wild Hunt, the Dragon Blood are taking care of all that. They have for centuries. They're not coming around. It's okay. We've already been through the bad times. The contagion, you know, the invasion of the fair folk. The Scarlet Emperor saved us from that. The contagion that happened 10 years ago. It's under control. The Dragon-Blooded have it dealt with. We're safe. We're safe here.
So you're saying everything's okay, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
That's what you're hearing.
Yeah. That's what you're hearing.
That's what
Who
they're
are you?
talking
One of those
themselves into.
anathema?
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 No, I just heard on the YouTube that that there's this stuff conspiracy going on, and yeah,
Put your tin hat back on. Go to sleep.
it ain't okay.
So basically, you guys hear about these anathema, and you're like, that's what I am technically. So you might want to keep it quiet around here, but nobody pays you any mind as long as you're not glowing. They don't really care.
Yeah, nobody's gonna pay any mind to the 7-foot tall barbarian queen.
And if they do pay you any mind, it's going to be like, God, look at her boobs. Don't stare at her. She'll kill you.
I can't help it. They're right here.
Yeah. Anytime you go to a merchant, may I help you, ma'am? My eyes are up here. Thank you very much.
I can't see them.
Yeah, yeah,
That's your chin.
yeah. Your direwolf's eyes are about there. My eyes are here. How about that? So yeah, as you guys get to that pointed coast city, it does seem to be a very large port there. And pulling into port, or what it looks like it has recently docked, is a very large ship, one of the large merchant ships from the Blessed Isle. They're disembarking, they're taking off cargo and passengers and all this. On that ship are you two. So
Okay.
you've spent a lot of time. Actually, I'm sorry, you're not on the ship, but you are in the port city. I forgot. You spent a lot of time in the West and decided to come back to the other side. Something was pulling you, something was drawing you here. So you made it back to land somewhere along the coast, maybe to the north.
Actually, my thought was that as far as the wagon,
Yeah.
I had found that somewhere up in the White Wall or
Okay. Yeah, that works.
area. Basically, coming around the top.
Okay.
So
So the wagon, did you buy it or did you find it?
found it.
Okay. So yeah, you were traveling on land. You're like, okay, well, I can move along, keep going. You actually managed to get a horse somewhere, and as you start traveling with the horse, you notice the horse is a lot smarter and has a lot more personality than any horse. You're like, did I buy a trick animal? Is this a one-trick pony, or did I buy silver? So this horse seems to have a lot more personality, and it seems to be very comfortable around you.
Right.
And it's just like, oh wow, you're like, I love this horse. This is my horse. So you guys have been traveling around. You can ride the horse. He's not like, get off my back.
When he
What are you
starts
doing?
calling you Wilbur.
Yeah. In your sleep, he'll talk to you. No. But you guys you're riding your horse and everything's fine. And one day you're just out in the plains, and it looks like maybe some burned out villages from years ago. Probably northern raiders, wild barbarians that came down. But over by one of these burned out villages, which just basically looks like foundations right now, you notice there is kind of sitting off on the side a wagon. And it's like it's got a lot of snow, obviously. It's not covered in snow, but there's snow on it, frost. It's in really good shape. And kind of like, you don't see anybody around. It's like tundra here, so there's like nowhere they're hiding. It's just there, unhitched, a wagon, covered wagon, like you described it. One of the gypsy type wagons, right?
Yeah.
What are those called?
Bardos.
Yeah. Nobody around it.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
yeah, so
That looks pretty nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it.
yeah, so you and your horse walk up, you go up, and there's like, all right, there's some supplies in there, like little knickknacks, tools, casks. Most of the casks are empty, but
thank
there
you.
is one cask that
I'm
sounds
sorry.
like it has some sort of liquid in it, and you also see like a little box with a lock, like a latch, not locked, but a latch on it. When you
Thank
open
you,
the
bud.
box, it actually has some foodstuffs, like some potatoes and jerky. It's fine. It's like not spoiled or anything. Potatoes looked like they were just freshly picked the other day. You're like, there is nobody around here at all. The cask you kind of slosh it. It does have some wine in there. Tastes excellent. Little aged, which is good, but
Yeah.
tastes great. And you're like, okay.
And let's go.
Yeah. Other than that, there is no sign of anything on here. But as you hitch up to the wagon, you're like, yeah, this is mine. I'm taking this. And you're like, it is mine. And as you kind of ride the wagon for that day, you just feel like you're
Home.
the most at peace you've ever been. You've got your wagon, you've got your horse who's pulling the wagon now.
Yep.
You're like, me and my best friend on the road in my crazy ass Humpty. I got this awesome wagon. This beautiful.
It is a bounce.
Yeah. And it's like, you have probably never been more content up until that point in your life ever.
Yeah.
So that night you rest, and when you wake up, you're like, wow, I feel really refreshed. I feel great. You can almost feel like, you know, the sun's beating down on you. It's nice and warm today. And there's something about this wagon that you're just like, I don't want to leave it. I'm never selling this wagon. As you kind of travel with this wagon for the rest of the weeks or whatever, you start to get a real weird feeling, because now you're starting to like your horse whinny, and you almost want to say, I know. I get it.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm understanding the horse a lot better. Maybe I'm traveling alone too long.
What if we said, comment? Don't come.
Yes, I told you to wait outside. The wagon itself, you also notice that when you sleep in the wagon or next to the wagon at night, you have very pleasant, peaceful dreams. Sometimes you'll have nightmares. Sometimes the nightmares are like, you feel like you're being chased or persecuted through like shadowy streets in an unknown city with really tall buildings, and it's kind of like that. You're running, but not
Something
really
I've
getting
never
anywhere.
seen before.
Yeah, and you're like, that's really, I didn't sleep. But you still feel like exhilarated when you have those nightmares. So you don't know what that's all about. But as you realize this wagon, like there's a couple nights you park the wagon and the horse, and you're like, well, I need to go into town and do some stuff, and I'll just make sure my wagon's tucked away safe. But I'm going to be away from it for a while because I need to make some money off people. You realize that you feel like you're always dreaming about that horse and wagon, and there's something about that wagon in your dreams that a lot of times you're running to it.
You start to wonder if you should go see a therapist.
Yeah.
Nah.
Nah.
I feel pretty good about it.
So yeah, eventually you get to this port city. You've had your travels, you've done whatever, and as you pull into this port city, you see a Blessed Isle merchant ship at the dock, and the first thing you're like, put the hood up. Yeah, okay. But the other thing you see is it's a East Coast city. You've seen tons of them along your route. The only difference between these and the northern coastal cities is what the buildings are made of, and it's warmer.
Yeah.
And the people dress differently. That's pretty much it. But you see two people that you're like, I just came from the north. I think these two people are lost. They're from the north, and not the coast, like the frigid waste north. So you see these two ladies and their wolves. People in town are kind of giving them a little bit of a wide berth, but at the same time, it's like, well, the wolves aren't attacking anybody. They must be pets. But it's still like, big lady with the big wolf. You know, people are like, well, I'll go to the other side of the street. She needs room. But yeah, you see these two ladies.
I won't seem to be noticing that people are parting the ways because they always do that.
Well, yeah. But as you look across at them, like down the road or whatever, you instantly feel like these people are lost, but I should say hi.
I should say hi.
Rob is a little bit ago, but it was Dale's on fire. Anastasia. Yeah, we know he's got marshmallows. Anastasia. No, the dragons are on the front porch and Mike is taunting me. Okay. All right. Enjoy the drugs.
But you feel the need to say hi. Valis and Raisha,
What?
as you guys are standing there looking at basically some furs and stuff, just killing time, just looking for a place to eat. You both get this like tingle on the back of your neck. like you're being watched or looked at or something, which you're not. It's not so abnormal here. But you turn around and up the road, you see a guy on a wagon with a horse. And it's one of those, well, a gypsy wagon. What do they call them? Bardo.
Bardo.
It's one of those coming up the road, and the guy looks like he might be from the east, but he looks different than everybody around here. Most of these people, think of it as you guys are Vikings in a city full of rangers, and here comes a gypsy or pirate. It doesn't really fit. So he does stand out a little bit. So as you guys are standing there, you ride up on your wagon. And before we actually start talking, because I'm just going to have you meet at once, Mike, do you have a name yet?
Yes.
Oh!
Yeah, that's what I was doing. Yay.
We're searching names.
I'm going to have
That's
to...
a dumb name.
Thank you. I am thinking of my name still. But I am going to be called Tomo Korichi.
Domo Korichi.
Tomo Korichi, which means intelligent, wisdom, knowledge, twin.
Twin?
Twin.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And then Korichi is something I wrote down but can't read my handwriting.
So you are a bureaucrat.
Yes.
Or a doctor.
And Rin, which means a companion, is the little guy. Rin.
Rin. Yep. Please write that down for me.
I did.
Cool. So, all right. So you have just hightailed it out of the Blessed Isle with the help of your mentor,
Right.
who basically one day just kind of came to you and said,
Get out.
"There's something different about you. I noticed it yesterday."
And yeah. And it would have been a while
Put it in your
back
face. You might want to wipe
that I
that
asked that off. But I figured something happened where he had to use a lot more magic, which really made
Well, no, it wouldn't have been a while back, because if it would have
Okay.
been a while back, they would have hunted you down.
Oh, okay.
Oh, say the wild hunt in the Blessed Isle is like, that's like a car alarm going off.
So I have a question then, because the way I had learned my magic was I had the black coin,
Yeah.
and I would throw that in there so I would learn the
Oh,
magic.
you could have had that. And
But,
learning magic, but you couldn't access it. You're just like, oh, but something happened that exalted you.
Okay, so I could learn the spells, but I couldn't.
You could learn the spells, but you couldn't do them.
Okay.
But because you couldn't access essence. But when you exalted, it's like,
Now you can do it.
yeah,
Yeah. I
like
could
one of
tap
your
that
spells
pool.
actually kicked off.
Maybe that's what
And you're
happened
like,
then.
holy crap!
Yeah, when Rin came up to me, and then all of a sudden I was just like,
Yeah, that's true. You've been studying magic, and you're like,
because I worked there in the school.
yeah. So it's like you could learn about terrestrial magic, but you weren't dragon blooded. So you were always like aspiring to be, hoping to become dragon blooded, because you were always taught they can do magic,
Right.
and you were always kind of praying that someday you would exalt, even though it's a little later in life. Maybe I can exalt and become a dragon blooded. The 5 elemental dragons will bless me. And you're like, someday. And then it's like, oh, look at that little critter. He's coming right at my leg. I'm not dragon blooded. I exalted, but not in the way I
Oh,
thought.
that one.
And like that afternoon, or as soon as it went off, you heard, and your mentor opens up, you got to go. You really need to go. Because we talked about it. He's actually sidereal.
Right. Well, and he's also my superior in
Right,
the thing.
right.
So
And he kind of took a shine to you because of what you were learning. And he's kind of like, yeah, learn that. Learn that. There's something, he always knew there was something special about you. And he kind of encouraged you, keep focusing. Now, like in his own mind, thinking, I can tell something's going to happen to you. You're going to exalt somehow.
could we?
But when you became solar exalted, he's like, that's not what I was thinking either. And now you got to go.
So I have a
Now you
question
gotta
then.
Yeah.
So the coin, you make it, and it basically it's there until you use it again. Could I have somehow made it and not realized it, and it worked? And I thought maybe he gave me the thing. Well, this is this coin. This is what we
What
do.
about this? He may have given you a focus to learn your magic. Rin came up and handed you a coin,
Okay.
something it stole, that you're like, oh, it stole something. That was the coin it was going to give you to exalt you.
Okay. Well, it's what that spell is, in case you're not learning. So that's why I was learning the magic. I was going to put it in areas and rooms so I could learn it.
Oh, I see.
It's
oh,
kind of like
that. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
basically you
Yeah.
see through the coin's eyes.
Okay. So you had this coin, you created it by what you read,
Or I found it there in the college, and somehow I was able to use it, but basically it was just my inner
Yeah.
thing.
Couldn't access it until Rin came up. You exalted because of
So I couldn't use it at all. I wasn't using it at all. Even.
only
Okay.
people who can use essence can cast magic.
Okay. So I'll have to change my backstory
A
then.
little bit. Just adjust the timeline a little bit. Once you
Okay, we
exalted,
can play with these. if
all
you
of it
want.
unlocked.
Well, could I have exalted and then held it back for a while and used the coin to learn spells, or to have been almost immediate, or how until
It
I
would have been probably immediate. Like I say, you could have been reading books on terrestrial sorcery. Read how to make this coin.
Yeah, no, I get,
Or you found the coin, you're like, ooh, that's this. I have that in my book. You were always looking at scrolls, reading the text,
Yeah.
reading the spells, using the coin, but it wouldn't do anything. You couldn't access your essence. You didn't have it yet.
okay.
But as soon as Rin came up and did whatever, and you you exalted, it's like everything just unlocked. Everything just went click, and you're like, oh my god, I can access this now.
So I guess would it have been immediate, or have been like I could have like stayed there for a little bit?
It's an immediate when you exalt.
No, I know that. I mean, I'm saying, could I have
well, yeah.
hidden in the aisle for a little bit, like a few months or something? No,
a week.
A week. Okay.
Because once you exalt all the sidereals who watch the Loom of Fate, it's like, all right, there's a solar he's going to exalt over in the north about, 6 months away. We got to get there. We got to be there for that. Okay, this guy, okay, he's going to be in the threshold. That's going to be at least a week's journey. We can get there in time. It's like, there's one in our backyard right now.
Okay.
Think of it
All
as
right.
lights on a map.
So, and it's the same for me initially. Too.
Yeah. Initially, when you were like, whoa, you knew you had to get out of Dodge because that's like,
Snuck onto the first ship that I could get.
think
to,
of it,
and
they're looking at the Loom of Fate and you are here. Okay, well, there's something over here. There's something over here. Bing! Holy crap, it's right there.
Right.
It's right there.
So I might change that coin then, because that was core to my creating my character, because I thought I'd learned it and I was hiding in there for a while before
Yeah.
I left. So if that's not the case, I might change that spell then.
Tell you what, I'll give you about a month.
Okay.
I'll give you a month because you exalted. Your mentor is a sidereal.
Right. And I have the bureaucracy charms.
And all of the sidereals on the Blessed Isle basically are the bronze faction. They work for the dragon blooded, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Your mentor is part of the gold faction. He instilled himself there to keep tabs on what they're doing.
Ah.
So basically, he's like, I'll take this guy under my wing. He's good. There's something about him, something special.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep tabs on all these other guys
Right.
because I know they're wrong.
Yeah.
You exalt, and he's like, oh. So he used his skills with the Loom of Fate,
Yeah. Oh, to hide me.
keep you off their radar as long as he could. But then it's like,
I
man,
probably I had to cast a spell of
Yeah.
more epic when Peripheral went out.
Yeah.
And then I had to
when
get
you
out.
exalted, it was a.
Yeah.
Now you just ate like a 6 bag of tacos. I can't hide that anymore.
Oh my god! What is that? Oh my god!
You gotta make a run for the border, man.
There we go.
Nice.
He's like, he busted into it. What did you eat?
Holy enchiladas! You gotta get out of here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I failed my
For a
virtue.
month, you knew you exalted, and you're like, oh, and on your readings, you're like, oh, this is not dragon blooded. This is one of these solars.
Yeah.
But a lot of the readings you've been doing, since you dig into a lot of the lore, you read like the Immaculate Order. Oh, anathema, they're evil, they're demons.
Right.
But you have actually found older
Right.
writings where you're like, no, they're solars. They're
Because he took a
different.
specialization in the first age too.
Right.
So he knows a lot
So
about
you're
that.
like, wait a minute, that's a solar. These guys were good and just kind of went bad.
Yeah, kind of like I see now.
Right. And now you're like, I'm a solar.
And I probably would talk with my
And with your
circular.
bureaucracy charms, and then your mentor's like,
My mentor is probably connected.
Yeah.
It's because I agreed with him that these guys seem pretty corrupt.
and he was always like, I know you're going. There's something special. You're going to exalt somehow. There's something special.
Oh, it's
but
not.
he figured
Oh,
because you're on the
buffalo
Blessed
wings.
Isle, you were going to become dragon blooded,
Right.
and maybe he could have you help
Have
him.
him. as a spy.
Yeah, but then you became a solar. He's like, well, that's way better, but not here.
Not here.
Gotta
Go.
go.
All right. All right. Well, thank you for that clarification,
Yeah.
so I can play him better.
Mom,
So-
thank you for your clarification on what that was.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So back to now. You are on this boat,
And I have a horse.
fresh off the boat. You do have a horse. Okay, so
well,
you're
with the resource is a 3, I figured. Yeah.
you're getting your horse out of the cargo hold. They're leading him down the gangplank, the large gangplank, along with a couple other horses for passengers out on the shore. And you're coming down. You're like, no, those scrolls go here, and blah blah blah. Getting your stuff together, and as you do, you kind of like, well. So this is the threshold. I don't know. Have you probably ever been off the Blessed Island?
I probably have to look for things.
Okay, probably
So-
with some companions.
Yeah. Probably an expedition.
Yeah. So you're like, okay, I'm in the threshold. Well, it's not bad. I've been here before.
But it was always on an official thing, so it wasn't like I could go vacation or something. You know
Right.
what I mean?
You're like, I don't have anybody backing me up this time. And as you kind of get off the boat, grab your horse, kind of lead it into what looks like the main street, you actually see crossing in front of your path a wagon, as I described before. Bardo, with a, well, you've seen the guy. Guy's got a cloak, got a bandana on, very colorful, but all his other clothes, they look stained, or like maybe they're like the salt water got to them. They're kind of faded in places and not in others, but it's not like they're dirty. It's almost like they're made that way.
Sorry.
But it's not overly noticeable. It's just like, at first glance, you'd be like, is he a beggar? But then you're like, oh no, that's like a style, something, but not in the East. So, but he's crossing your path in front of you. As you're riding toward these two ladies and you two kind of like looking over, you kind of glance out of the side of your eye. You see this guy leading a horse with this little critter on his shoulder. And first of all, you're like, that's somebody from the Blessed Isle. I can tell by the way he dresses. But when you look at him, you're like, there's something interesting about him too. He looks like a fella I could talk to. And it's almost like you all start feeling that being drawn together.
Rob.
Okay, so Mike, do you actually have your cast mark covered?
It only shines when
It
I.
only shines when you use essence. So it's normally not there.
Actually, I thought it said that the actually, what time of day is it?
Probably getting to be about
Brunch.
brunch. Yeah, it's like before noon.
Always brunch time.
It's always brunch time.
Okay. Because it does mention also that the cast mark can sometimes be seen during the time of day.
Oh, that relates to you.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Well, nobody.
Yeah, that would be
Nobody. Yeah.
that'd be Rob's character actually.
Yeah. His would be probably starting to, and if you don't know what you're looking for, the way I'm going to treat it is, if you don't know what you're looking for, you won't even notice it. But if
Yeah.
you're
You're
exalted,
saying, geez, somebody needs to clean their T-zone.
yeah. If you're exalted and it gets to be like this time of day and you look
Yeah.
at Rob, you'll see that real faint, like, did I just see something? That's how you guys recognize other exalted.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
Yeah,
unfortunately right now, her cast mark is already kind of faded away. His would be glowing, but none of you guys would have your cast mark yet. But you can tell there's something about that guy.
Yeah.
I might have a figure on the aisle to hide that. You might have like the bandana with that same flame on it. You know, like
Yeah.
the.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I wear the colorful bandana.
Bandana, yeah.
And the hood.
Yeah.
And he also has one of those Japanese hats for the rain, like the.
Oh, the big. Yeah. Bamboo kind of hats.
Yep.
Okay. These thorns.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there you go. Now you just need to wear your hat.
Oh, it's true.
So, okay. So,
All right.
and you feel that same connection when you see that guy pass by, Mike. There's something very close, something connecting you.
I kind of elbow Valis in the hip
So I'm coming up to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're riding up the road toward the booth they're at.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the horse as I get up next to him. Ahoy!
Boy,
Seem to be traveling far.
we have.
Seem to be of the north. Yes.
Oh, yes.
And are you from this area?
Yeah. Been around a bit. Spent some time out in the Western Isles.
Well, I guess that's a good reason to have such a wagon as you do. A good shelter.
Of course. And if you ever hear any stories of the Dread Pirate Roberts, don't believe them.
I heard of that guy.
And you notice the wolves walk right up to your horse, and your horse is like, "What's up?"
What's up?
The wolves are just like, "Can we sniff your butt? You're not gonna kick us if we sniff your butt, right?" The animals seem to be getting along
Sniffing circle.
surprisingly well. Like your wolves aren't growling. Like every once in a while, people walk by and your wolves kind of do that. They're not growling. In fact, Storm Shadow's probably doing, like panting, and Shy is probably just like lays down right next to the horse while he's standing there, just lays in the dirt. It's,
Just kind of like doing that dog thing with flicking her eyes around. That makes me
Yeah.
lets me know that she's like, yeah, this is cool.
this is cool.
That's all right.
And your horse, Bucephalus, is just kind of like, all right, cool. Probably just paws the ground next to her wolf, like. And the wolf just kind of looks up at it, and they're like, okay. And you're like, nice tame wolves. That's nice, So, as you guys are having your little conversation, you kind of lead your horse, and you're like, you see that group over there, and it's almost like, I'm here, I'm alone, I don't have anybody, I want to be part of the group. And those
Well, he's
people
probably
look pretty cool.
interested because he has high languages.
Yeah.
He's probably interested in their language too. And
Oh yeah. What language?
Oh yeah. We
Yeah,
did,
what are we talking?
there is
'Cause
like
I have-
common.
low realm.
Okay.
Low realm speak is like common, so everybody can speak that.
Yep.
And then you guys have like the northern tongues and stuff like that. The dots all work out. So if you don't have languages, who has a dot more than one dot in linguistics? Okay, so you guys speak your native tongues, which would be the low or high realm, I think, for the Blessed Isle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Low realm and high realm. You would speak the northern tongue and
The common
low realm.
low realm.
You guys have low realm plus a couple extra languages because you're
My native says Sky Tongue.
Sky tongue. That's it. That's what the North speaks. Sky
How many
tongue.
dots do you have?
I have 3, so I speak 4 languages.
Okay.
I don't have any dots.
So you speak 1 language.
Yeah. Everybody speaks low realm, and then if you don't have any dots, you speak your, native tongue.
language.
So, but if you have other dots, for every dot you have, you get an extra. You start with low realm and your native. You start with low realm and high realm,
Okay.
and then you had how many dots?
3.
So you get 3 other languages.
Oh, 3 additional.
You said it was
Oh yeah,
however many dots plus 1.
yeah, plus 1. So
So you speak 4 languages.
But they get 2 if you don't have any at all.
they just get low realm and their native tongue.
Okay. But if I have dots, I'm losing a language.
No, you get low realm, your native tongue, which is high realm, and then if you have 3 dots, you
Yeah.
get 4 languages
Total.
4 more.
or more.
Oh, 4 more.
So you'll have a total of 6.
Oh.
I think is that what I
That
did?
is not what you told me.
Yeah, you were
I
saying
get
it was
3
like
dots in
one.
languages, so I get 4 languages. Having
Total.
no
Oh
dots,
yeah, your native tongue.
Yeah.
And
your native tongue comes automatically.
yeah,
And then you can learn with 3 dots a language for each
Yeah.
dot.
and then everybody
having-
can speak low realm. Okay. I
Oh,
don't know,
okay.
Do you
good.
have that written down?
I have low.
Yeah, it's
So that's a given.
Gets a given. Then I have
That should
high
be a given.
realm.
So
Then I-
it's 2 plus however many dots you got.
Change it. You have low realm, so if you need another language, you get another language.
yeah.
Okay,
I guess I need
perfect.
another language.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the River Speak one? It's the Met.
Scavenger lands.
Yeah.
Because it's also the tongue of merchants and stuff like that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Well, then I need that one. That's the one I
Okay.
want.
That's
What is
one you
it?
take.
River speak.
River Speak.
Oh, I already have that written down. I was like, why wouldn't I have that? Oh, I do.
there's a guild camp or tribe.
I'll write down that I need another language.
Cool, because that's the one I want. That's the extra language I wanted. So
Okay, there you go.
Okay, so
Actually, it might be Old Realm.
yeah, it's kind of Latin. It's like what
That's like the
talking to Fae
basic
and
language
everything.
of the.
I
Yeah, that
For,
would be
for you. That would probably.
that
would
would
be
make
me,
sense
yeah.
with a lot of the Fae and stuff like that. Probably
That's
speak
what they
Old
speak
Realm.
is
okay. So
Old
old realm. So that's
Yep.
different from high realm.
Yes.
Yep. Realms like this. Old realms like ute, takte, to ute.
Pig Latin. That's what it is.
L.
So anyway, you can.
Okay, out of print GM. Going to have to drop out. Work stuff to do. So,
Oh, thanks for
All right,
stopping
well,
in.
Simon.
all right, thank you for coming in. Always.
Just in time for us to start.
Yeah. Well, you guys can continue your conversation and you can walk up whenever.
Well, he'll probably walk up with it.
So
Which way are you going? This far from the north.
Yeah, we were kind of drawn this direction.
Always staring at the kids.
just. Well, he is. He's right there.
That's true. He's probably
I'm
like,
sitting on the wagon.
You're like, I'm looking down your boosty. I hope you don't mind. I like the view.
yeah. Probably checking her too. Well, he is hedonistic, so
Yeah.
that's,
You're probably
that's
looking
my
at your-
nature. Well, like,
I lost my tribe. It was time for a change.
Have any idea where you're going?
Oh.
No?
Do you have
Where
any
the-
ideas? Do you know
where
of
the-
any places that sound nice?
Not
Barnabas,
particularly.
Barnabas, you actually kind of feel like you've been headed east. Now that you're here, you want to head farther east. And you do know, you've been around, you do know there's a pretty large city nearby, not too far, Nexus, where those
What do you
rivers
think, Glenn?
converge.
Yeah.
people seem okay.
Yeah.
So a little farther inland, there's Nexus, which is a pretty large city. And there's something kind of like, maybe that seems like a good idea. You've been thinking about it a lot last day or two.
Yeah, is there a nice, big, exciting place to go around here?
Well, we can go to Nexus, so could be interesting.
Nexus, that's a city?
Yes. So
Ooh.
I understand.
Ooh,
You probably hear this chiming, like bells almost,
I'm like
That's the-
one.
approaching you guys, like that. Ding. Yeah, almost kind of like bells, like but it's not so loud.
Chimes, in a way.
So our animals all go, whoop.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hello. This is. How are you? He's speaking low realm. Like, I do not know the North. Was it what is it called? The Sky Realm, or was it their language? Sky Tongue.
Sky Tongue.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't I'd be speaking it right now because they aren't.
No, it says. I do not know the Sky Realm tongue. I have always thought it very interesting.
How are you knowing what my native tongue is?
Well, you are.
No, you guys don't speak it, do you?
No, but you obviously look like you're from the
Yeah, you're both from the north, you know, with the looks.
He's saying that you're from the north.
He
I
can
don't
tell-
know your tongue.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, you're saying parlez-vous français?
Yeah.
In Italy.
Yeah, I'm not even really saying it. I'm like, I know, yeah. I don't know how to speak your language, but I think it's pretty cool to Norse people. All I want to learn Frenchy.
So you're speaking the common low realm.
Yes, but
It's
I'm
fine.
kind of
I understand the low realm.
yeah. Oh,
Yes.
that is good. I do not mean to interrupt your conversation. I merely was admiring your wolves.
Both of them.
You know that one is bigger than the other.
White.
Yes, very nice, very nice. I would like to bet them, but I do not want to try. They might bite. I may regret it. They're bound or something that's not good for me. But I will pet anybody's. How are you?
You notice the little critter on it has like monkey like paws, and when he's like, he starts kind of like, how are you? The thing almost like puts his hand over his mouth, like, you know, when monkeys kind of grab. It's almost like, shut up.
It's just like,
No speaking.
Rin, stop. He's like, this is my friend Rin.
You guys would recognize this animal.
Yeah. Oh
As to
my.
what it is.
Yeah, it's
Valis,
Why?
isn't that a chimerit?
yeah, it's an Arctic chimerit. So they're from the north. They can be pretty long lived. They have, like I said, they have the aspects of a chinchilla, a lemur, and a ferret. So they're kind of aggressive, like lemurs, but they're the laid backness of a chinchilla kind of cancels that out. But they're ferrets too, so they kind of like to take shiny things sometimes, unless they're well behaved. And they can be very friendly, but sometimes they don't make good pets because they do kind of get,
The monkey. Ah!
yeah, they kind of like bite. Yeah, yeah.
This is all full.
This one
Don't
seems
feed them
really
after
calm,
midnight.
really
That's right.
and they are very quick and rather intelligent.
Yeah. This is
Oh, so I just kind of, lean in a little bit, not right up to it, but kind of just lean in a bit and kind of examine it.
yes, this is the Arctic,
Chimerit.
chimera. I was wondering if you had seen its foliage before. Sorry, I'm hitting my microphone. But its pattern, if it's normal to you, to your areas. I mean,
There's different colorations, but
This one seems
How-
to be a little
how did-
not
you want
so
to
north.
do not bite or steal. I can't put his hand out, if he wants to hunt, go over to her.
Oh yeah, yeah. Actually, it basically jumps off of you onto your shoulder.
scratch behind the ears.
Yeah, it's kind of making this weird cooing little noise. Yeah, like a cooing noise.
He holds his hand like,
And
all right, good luck. Okay, it's good.
one, be nice if you could tell your story, little one. You're quite the long way from home. Wherever
Roll your
home might have been.
perception and awareness. Do you have awareness as one of your skills?
I do.
Yep. got
Wade, when you come back,
3.
anybody who has perception and awareness can roll it.
Me too.
You too.
Okay.
Perception and awareness.
Yeah, if you don't have awareness, it's just perception.
Where's the Mountain Dew?
Perception. Where
Do
is
you remember
perception?
that? Oh, sorry.
No,
Where's perception?
it's one of your stats at the very top.
Was it me? Was it something I couldn't find?
Okay, so 6 altogether.
Okay, now
I'm sorry, I don't see it.
the way the difficulties work.
It's on your
It is.
hold on
Yeah.
here. Get everybody.
One dot.
So you roll that many dice, but your target number is 7, not 6. It's 7. 10s count double.
I get 2 sevens.
And one.
Ones do not cancel out, but if you have no successes and roll any ones, you did
Okay.
go buck. You botched.
I got 2 successes.
2 successes.
Yeah.
2 successes.
One.
1 success. Wade, just let me know whenever you get back what you roll. I can go ahead and explain this.
Okay.
Wade makes it. He'll hear this too. It jumps over and you're like, well, if you could talk, we'd love to know your story, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You notice it actually looks at you and just kind of and jumps over to her shoulder, like it. You swear to God, it just answered you.
Like, don't want to say.
Yeah, because at first it looks like it just shook its head, but you notice it kind of gave you this
Look.
Nah, I
and
don't
then
know.
jumped over to your shoulder. And you guys all picked up on that. Like, it, I swear it just answered.
I know
You
that.
are like, yeah. It just
I just
answered.
got blown up by a monkey.
Yeah. Well, I am.
Well, he wasn't hitting on you yet.
I am a monkey. If you want to tell about my backstory,
I am a monkey. If you'd like to blow me off. All right.
jiggle, 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 jiggle.
Need 7.
Yeah. Target number 7.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I got a 10. So
Yep. Oh, there you
2
go.
successes.
Yep.
All right.
So
yeah.
you see the same thing. You're like, yeah, swear it answered. So it jumps over to you, Risha, lands
Yeah.
on your shoulder. You notice Shy kind of like sits up a little straighter when it jumps on your shoulder,
Yeah.
but it does, and then she just kind of, and lays back down, kind of on her, not lay down, but it's like,
He does that.
yeah. You notice when it jumped on your shoulder, Storm Shadow would look more like, is it tasty? I don't think I'm going to eat it though.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just kind of, it wasn't worried about you. It was just more like, you would fit in my mouth. So, jumps over to you and just kind of sniffs you. Probably does that thing like grabs your braid a little bit. And then jumps on top of the horse. Sits there for a minute, scratches its neck. The horse just kind of like, and then it,
probably twitches the
yeah,
muscle under.
twitches that muscle and the tail goes and it kind of like, ooh, and kind of jumps up right where you've got the reins, kinda that little where you put your feet on the buckboard, lands right there and just kind of looks at you.
Aren't you the special one?
And it just kind of like shrugs and jumps back, probably on top of your head, back to your shoulder.
Mhm.
So,
Good.
so yeah, it seems like friendly and not as aggressive as it could be yet.
He's very good. He will be good to you. Apparently. This is my horse, Nico, which is Sunshine. It's just kind of very nice horse, but it's just like
Yeah.
the other horse. What's
Looks
up?
at the other horse, and you swear your horse, Bucephalus, just gonna
Yeah, I was gonna say rolled it.
more like it's a yokel. Never mind. But you heard them talking about Nexus. You've probably been through Nexus. It is a pretty good sized city, and you know that it's kind of built up. At the end of the first age, something happened. A lot of it was destroyed, but there's a lot of first age like buildings, like foundations. Like these used to be like 7,
Yeah.
10-story buildings, and they've all most
Collapse.
of them have collapsed, but they've built
Right.
on top of it. So it's like modern, crystalline, faceted sculptures on the foundations, and then up top is like a ramshackle, like a nicely carpeted, but it's
Gotcha.
obviously just a wooden building
Right.
on these crystal foundations.
Okay.
Sometimes they'll have like a weird spire of this unusual metal that goes up.
It's probably something I always
Nobody
wanted
knows
to
what
look
it
at
is or what it does.
because I never really had a chance since
Yeah.
I was on a mission. So
Okay, I'm having a deja vu of a deja vu.
okay.
It's your solar spark.
Yeah. You're glowing.
Yes. Oh, I'm still having it. I've been having it for like.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Interesting.
I hope it's good. Basically, like, well, I have been there before. It was some time ago on a journey, but it was very interesting city. Many things of the first age. I am kind of a scholar. I am basically looking into the areas of our great and glorious world and finding out the parts of the old first age and many other things. But I am familiar with the city. Is there a reason you wish to go there?
It's interesting.
That it is, very much so. They have a very good Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, actually, the more you
What
talk
taco,
about it, the
Precious?
more you're like,
Tacos.
What tacos, Precious?
Well, stew them, heat them, put them in a bun.
Tacos, you know.
as you talk about Nexus, you're like, yeah, really want to go to Nexus.
Yeah, I remember just thinking about, I never got to look at those buildings or something. So, yeah.
Sorry, guys. Thanks for the follow, Jason.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank
And
you.
for some reason, AA Ron says we're from the north, so we got to get out. I don't know. So get out.
We're from the north. We don't like you Yankees.
North of the Mason-Dixon line.
I mean, they're really north.
Oh, you're Canadian, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Canadian, eh?
Great White North.
Yeah. Oh,
I was just going to do that.
And more so.
yeah.
I would like an Elsinore brew.
That's right. my liege, he's a cop, and he put a mouse in a bottle, and he said, "Oh, you got to give me free beer,"
I thought you were making a noise because we've already mentioned Strange Brew and Howard the Duck. Too.
I know.
I
You
know.
guys are, I'm loving it.
Yeah,
Put them together, make one glorious movie.
that's right. Yeah.
Sounds good.
What is it? Bootleg.
Oh, there's a project for us, Mike, when we get up. Yeah, we start making movies again.
Yeah, there we go. Right there.
Yeah. There you go.
Duck.
Strange duck. The strange duck brew.
Yeah, Strange Duck.
Stranger duck.
Yes. All right. Well, but yes, I think I was wanting to go that way myself. And I do have like an official kind of an Isles uniform almost.
Yeah, it's Blessed Isle, like
So you might be a little nervous. I don't know.
Ministry of Magic, but you,
Not necessarily nervous, but I'm definitely like,
Yeah, you would know who I.
oh yeah.
I'm with the college, this magic college, basically. I can't think of the name of it right now, but yeah,
Yeah, I'm not very trusting of you.
yeah. It's kind of that he'd probably be not like a second level kind of guy. It wouldn't be like a top, but he's definitely has a little bit of rank.
yeah,
But
substitute teacher.
yes,
Even though you don't trust him, there is something about him that you're like, I don't trust him, but you get that feeling like he's okay. But yeah, you're like, you being you with the way you see things is like,
Oh, even
well, he
more
seems
so.
okay, but he'll probably betray me later. So I'll arm's length, that kind of thing. But yeah, there is that draw.
Are we feeling the pull kind of towards the east since we've been talking about it?
Yeah,
I
you've
figured
been
since you
kind
brought
of
up Nexus,
wandering,
and I've been
and you're
like,
like,
that sounds good.
but yeah, when he says Nexus, you're like, and it's like, which way is Nexus? That way, and you're like, yeah,
That's a good way to go.
sounds good.
Feels good to me.
And then the more he was talking about it, he's like, yeah, I've been to Nexus. It's like, yeah, who's going to Nexus? Let's go. Road trip.
Would you mind, a fellow like myself from the Isles coming with you? If it is all right. I'm heading that way. If not, I can just see you on the road.
All right.
Uh-huh. It's all right.
If not, I'll see you on the road. 2 hours later, you guys are walking. He's right behind you, like 4 feet behind you.
Still here.
I'm still seeing you.
That's
on the
just
road.
you.
Still seeing you on the road.
I'm going the same way, not on purpose.
Well, I have no reason to say no.
Good.
Eh.
Then we are friends. Then we will have drinks. I've just got off the boat. I am fresh off the boat. Let us go have a drink. And maybe a lunch. Have you eaten?
It is brunch time.
It is brunch.
The Viking women. Well, it is brunch.
It is brunch. Yes.
The sun is up.
Well,
Fendi.
I mean, who knows? I mean, that's where the whole
Yeah.
tea came from. It was the Viking. It's lunchtime.
It's like our Russ Lee.
That's kind of like that. No, I said it's brunch. Like brunch.
Big Viking battle. Ah, tea time. Stop what you're doing. Let's have tea. Then we'll go back at it. All right. Well, yeah, you can find pretty much there's a tavern right near the road, serve food and drink. So you can walk in there. Yep. And again, if you have lore, if you put points in lore,
Yep.
you can read and write. If you have lore of 1, if you don't have lore, you can't really read and write. So keep that in mind. So, but all the signs are kind of like your old medieval, It's got like,
Pictograms.
yeah, the plate with the fork and the knife
Yeah.
and a mug next to it.
Right.
It's like, that's probably a restaurant. So if it's got like a severed wolf head on a pike, good luck. You don't, I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
The Wolfhead Tavern.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah. The slaughtered lamb.
Oh, there's all these dead wolves in there. There's a guy. Oh yeah.
You two, come on in.
Come on. You been in a store?
So anyway,
Oh, I don't get many customers, but yeah.
you walk over to the tavern. It's just kind of a nice wooden building, nothing fancy, but I see the east. These port cities are kind of a little bit more like the port in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Mm.
That kind of thing. It's a lot of river folk and stuff like that. So you got barrels and crates around the buildings and stuff like that. It's not highly ornate architecture like on the Blessed Isle or even Mexico. It's a little more
4 walls and a
run
roof.
down. Yeah, pretty much. But it's
Maybe a dirt floor better.
More utilitarian. Than
yes, that's the word. Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for.
Serves a purpose.
So as you guys walk up, it's got like the step up on the boardwalk kind of porch. Walk up and swing open the door, and inside there's several tables. Probably not too busy, maybe like 10 or 15 people in here. Up at the front, there is a bar, and it looks like there's a kitchen right behind that with like 2 or 3 people in the kitchen. So as you kind of walk in, they don't really look up at you, but there's plenty of tables open, or there's spaces at the bar if you want to go up and eat there. In here, most of the people look like they are from the East, but you do see a couple other people who look a little different. Maybe they're dressed slightly different. You do see one person wearing what looks like a shawl with like a headband around it, kind of dressed in like robes, almost like,
Oh, Jeff said hi. Have fun, peoples.
Hey,
hey,
Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
kind of like silk robes with maybe some wool, like I said, like a hooded shawl, like a shawl they have up with a headband around it. You notice their shoes look very soft, as opposed to most of the East have the boots, leather boots or canvas boots. These look like soft shoes.
Never work in the North.
Whoever it is has lots of jewelry and the long, slender brown fingers. You can't really see who they are, but they seem to be sitting with a gentleman who's kind of dark complected, kind of a very dark tan color, black hair, very, very black, very luxurious and tied back into like a ponytail. It does look like he has a goatee, but it's a very small, thin goatee, almost like it was drawn on. He does look like he has very long eyelashes, and he seems to be dressed in like a silk shirt that kind of crosses over. He's got like a sash, and it's holding a sword, but it's curved. It's kind of unusual, not what you're used to. It's just a curved sword. You guys have probably never really, and it looks like it for chopping wood, but that'd break. It's definitely not that. You, Barnabas, have probably seen swords like that closer to the south.
Yeah.
Scimitars is what it is. You may have seen a couple on the Blessed Isle, especially around the coast. Mike, what was your name again?
Tomo.
Tomo. So you've seen swords like that coming into the Blessed Isle. But yeah, they're sitting at a table. Everybody else kind of looks average for this area. But where do you guys go?
There a table for 4?
Oh yeah, there's several
Smack
large
dab in the middle.
tables. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys sit down in the middle. The guy at the bar does kind of hear the chairs moving. Kind of
Yeah, as I come in, I'm like, "Barkeeper,
oh well. He's
yeah,
like, yes.
please," and I kind of like throw a few coins. I hand it to my little guy.
Okay.
This is, come on, Rin.
He runs over. You gave him what, 2 coins?
Yeah,
He runs over, puts a coin on the counter,
Rin.
puts another coin on the counter, hangs his head. The barkeep's like, kind of,
And then
Rin comes back to you.
yeah, something nice for Rin and food. Yes, food, drink
Aye.
for my new friends.
All right. Yes, and something for.
Yes, of course. I don't know. What do they eat? Raw?
He's your pet. Don't you know what?
No, he's playing the wolves, wasn't he?
No, you said something nice for Rin. So
Oh.
looking at your animal like something for him.
Yes, yes. What do you want, Rin?
It probably runs over to somebody's table and takes an apple off their plate. He's like,
One of
hey.
Give him an apple then.
Yes, I'll get you.
We probably had our wolves lay down outside
Yeah.
at the door.
Yeah, with the wagon.
And then probably say,
Wagon.
and then something for the two wolves out front. They could put the meat.
Wolves.
Yes, wolves.
There is no need to.
What? Are you not hungry?
I will feed my wolf.
Oh, all right. Well,
Oh, they're your wolves. Okay, all right. I thought you meant wolves had wandered into town.
no, of course not. They're pets, like dogs.
Oh, okay. No argument here. Thank you. I'll bring your food out. I'll bring some stuff for you, and to start with, and then you can let me know if there's anything you want off our menu.
All right.
So have a seat, travelers, please.
Now, don't get me wrong; it's much appreciated, but I'll feed my wolf.
All right. Well, it's on the Isles tab, so it's all good. Let those bastards pay for it.
Oh, the state's paying for it. All right.
So after a few moments,
Roast chickens.
She's all like, "Hey,
four fried chickens and,
No, the whole chicken.
The whole chicken.
and a piece of dry white toast.
Yes.
The other wolf.
Leroy. Guy comes to the kitchen. Wait a minute.
So after a minute or two, you see the guy come back. He's got the tray, and he kind of lowers it down. And he's got a big plate of like bread and rolls to start with, and then he hands out 4 mugs with something in it. He's like, our mead to start with, and some bread.
Well done.
Yeah. It's actually not bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. He's like,
I've had better."
yeah, you guys are like, oh, it's water. Okay. I didn't ask for water.
That's okay. I didn't
Well,
want anything.
Gets the mouth moist.
Yeah. You're probably used to drinking out west, so you're like, yeah, this is water. You're like, oh, that's good. That's really good
That's
stuff.
good stuff.
Unlike the watered down stuff they give the non-dragon blooded.
Yeah.
So anyway, he sits that down. He's like, well, meals, what can I get for you? Anything at all?
Well, what is your specialty? What
Well,
is
I'll
it?
bring you a little bit of everything.
How's that? Oh, good.
He kind of
I was
turns
just
around.
going to ask for an egg and then pull out beef, like some jerky
Okay.
to eat with an egg, whatever egg. I don't have eggs. I like eggs.
You're like this.
All right. Eggs for the lady. All right. He goes back, and after a few moments, you hear he's like, and the kitchen staff is kind of dishing up stuff and cooking up stuff and all that. He brings out. Yeah, it's like, oh, you want sprouts, huh?
A
Oh.
little Parmesan.
At least it's not the worm out back getting milk.
What do you think you're drinking, Pilgrim? So after a few moments, he comes back and he's got a big bowl of stew with some other smaller bowls for you to have. There's probably a couple like small steaks of some kind. There's some fish as well. Like he brings you some eggs, probably hard boiled. So he brings some eggs, brings some salted meats and stuff like that. He kind of sets it down, gives you a tally. You know, that'll be resources of 1, please.
Oh,
I can
here.
afford that.
I can too.
So there you go.
I get it.
So he asks for some money and you pay,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like pieces of jade and like Blessed Isle money. He's like, oh, like he doesn't see that very often.
Yep.
He's like, oh, well, yes, sir. If there's anything else you need,
Yeah, no, thank you. What?
so
Is it good enough for you? You want something stronger?
Well, something stronger to drink would be good.
I can help you with that.
Yeah,
I'll be
I
right
had him
back.
like another thing.
Like, no, it's all right.
Just the one is fine for me.
Just the mead.
Yeah, the one mead.
Okay. So he comes back. He actually has like this small handheld like cask or little keg, and he kind of sets down a goblet, kind of uncorks it, pours a little bit in there, about like that much, and it's kind of like this. I don't know, like it looks like grape juice, like a very purple, but clear purple liquid. And he kind of pours that out, and he's like, "Try that, milady. See what you think." Yeah, that's pretty good. It's almost like a whiskey wine. So it's yeah, basically.
Another for her then.
He's like drops the little keg. It's like that tall.
Yeah.
And he poured a little half a goblet, so he sets the cask down.
I
He's
pay. I have resources of 3, so
like, absolutely fine. Thank you.
yeah, on me. Maybe I will be. So why are you here?
I'll be right back. She scoots her chair back,
Sorry, didn't mean
puts a
to.
couple, I don't know what kind of money she would have, just enough that would cover.
Yeah, the way I
her
see it
eggs.
is the Blessed Isle and like a lot of the threshold deals in like jade and coin and maybe some paper money. You guys probably have like very almost like stone carved coins, stuff you can easily mine from up north. But it's like
Like a regular nugget almost.
yeah,
raw material.
yeah, more like raw material. But it's recognized as a currency everywhere. It's
Okay,
just-
well, put a couple down.
No, I don't need your money. I said it was on me.
from the west, I see it as more as like gold coins, like doubloons almost.
Well, and also,
Shells, probably.
and also just whatever can get.
Whatever you got. That's why a lot of the currency is recognized everywhere because you got Northern Raiders, you got pirates.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I recognize.
I invited you to eat with me, so
From the
it's
south,
my
is more gems.
responsibility to pay.
Oh, but I'm covering my wolf.
Oh, all right. Well, she needs her wolf.
I have my wolf.
I didn't pay for the wolf because you said you were going to do it.
I know. I have these.
Oh, so you're-
eggs jerky.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, okay. Whatever you want to do.
I will return briefly. Pardon me.
So why are you?
She gets up, goes out, and you guys are like, that is the most polite Viking I have ever heard in my.
Your friend did not have to pay.
Just waiting for her to
I
return.
gotta move it over to you. You give that back to her. I do not want her money. I offer her to pay. So. So. Oh, it feels good to be on land.
I'm not a stupid big broad Viking. I mean, money's hard to come by.
That's right.
Well, basically, I'm going to cut this short unless you guys want to sit and roleplay for a bit, which is absolutely fine with me.
I was going
This
to
has nothing to do with the story. It's just
give my
having lunch.
wolf a couple of the eggs and a couple pieces of the jerky that I carry.
Okay.
And then come back in with the eggs, and I will eat my own eggs.
Okay.
Excuse myself just for a second. I go back to the kitchen. Give me 2 chickens.
2 chickens?
Not cooked.
Not cooked?
Not raw. Two raw chickens.
Alive? Or.
They can be dead.
Oh, okay.
Freshly.
All right. Didn't know if you had plans. Kind of looking at your breast. Maybe you needed covers or.
Roll the bones.
Difference between kinky and
Right.
perverted.
So I
To God. I don't know.
gave him some of the money I got from him.
Okay.
You know, whole can.
So they give you a couple.
Some chicken. So I go out to the front and I toss them down in front of Storm Shadow.
Okay. He probably catches the first one in his mouth.
Yes.
Just while Shy is like, ooh, eggs and bacon, thank you. Storm Shadow's like, chicken? Oh, that's good. Where's the other one?
Under your paw.
It's in the dirt.
He's like,
Fat on it.
5-second rule. All right.
I would have put a feed bag on the horse too
Oh, when you came in,
before.
he's like, man, heathens. Look, I'm using cutlery. So yeah, basically you guys sit and have a meal. You can talk about, you want to role play, go ahead. Or if you want to paraphrase what you're talking about.
No, I mean, he's basically kind of small talk. You
Yeah,
know,
I'm
where
all
are
about
you
the
from, or what are you kind of doing? I mean,
All I ever say is I lost my tribe.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
So many people are.
Yeah.
Have you guys shared any of your actual history? Or
I would probably repeat it for them. This is a handy weapon.
No singing.
What?
oh, she's picking up her guitar. Oh, wrong character.
This is a handy weapon. Very, very stout.
It's very big.
I
You wielded well.
Wait,
I found it. Or it found me. Not sure, but I was out hunting. Came across
Actually,
one of the
are there any other
goats.
people really close enough to
Steal from?
hear what's being said?
no,
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 Okay.
not really.
Would I know what she's talking about? Trifle goat?
That's a tri-horn goat. Ice goat.
You may have heard of them, but it's not really your
No, I didn't know if I had to roll.
magic,
Very
zoology.
He saw a picture of it in a nursery rhyme.
I didn't know where to get my Arctic poetry.
wicked
Make
vicious
my
thing.
water.
I mean, you think polar bears are bad.
Oh, all right.
These tri-horn goats. Or why am I thinking of a southern accent?
I don't know, darling.
Lottie, they tri-horn goats. Well, as soon as Cramplia is looking,
Sound more Texan.
I do. It sounds vicious.
and had my bow, and was shooting,
All right.
and first one missed.
Oh no.
Unfortunately, it whizzed past his head ever so slightly.
No, were you hunting it? Were you hunting it?
I
or-
was hunting it because
right.
well, it was the only thing I'd found to be able to hunt that day, and I knew that if I didn't hunt it, it was going to start hunting me.
Oh my goodness.
And so it noticed my approach, and
So it is
you put his
carnivorous.
head down, started pawing at the snow and the ice beneath him, and he started galloping over directly towards me. And I let another shot go, struck him straight and stuck in the middle of his skull in the forehead,
Oh my goodness.
between the eyes and below the center horn.
Oh,
Because they got one in the center, and they got two coming out to the side.
I see.
And his eyes were burning red.
Oh,
And his breath, as he was breathing heavy as he was charging at me,
my goodness.
was like billows of snow clouds coming out because the moisture of his breath was crystallizing in the air as he outbreathed.
How exciting. Ah.
And I fired at it again, and again it stuck right in the middle of the forehead. Didn't go in too deep because these bastard skulls are so thicker than the thickest ice
I have met bureaucrats like
in the
that. Yes.
winter on the ocean.
I saw a fish like that.
Yes. Oh.
And was it three-eyed?
No, 6.
Ah, okay. Well, I've heard those are actually lucky.
Now, as Dennis as Valis is telling her story, I want you to go,
And then it was upon me. And I dropped my gun. And I had my knife. My knife. And I just had to sidestep it as it got to me and just underneath of the jaw. And I'm stabbing viciously at the neck, at the side. And we were wrestling in the snow.
Oh, that lucky bastard.
And just
I was thinking when she does this, everybody's like, and the snow mounds were heaving.
First thing, he big breasts. And finally, rolling through the snowbanks, finally killed it.
Wow.
And so then,
That's amazing.
exhausted at that,
I'm excited.
exhausted at that point, I crawled my way into its lair cave and just passed out for a while. And amidst the
So they,
treasure hoard that this thing had accumulated.
they collect things, or is it more from their prey?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And but this sword axe was there amongst it.
I see.
And I was.
Do I recognize
I
it?
was
It's my
drawn
lord?
to it. Well, it's that.
Yeah.
Right.
So
He's just waiting for his
when
character.
Valus
Yeah.
Yeah, his character.
hefts this thing up and kind of shakes it, first of all, you know she's strong. Mm-hmm. That thing's got to weigh a lot.
Right.
And she's
Huge.
just like, like it doesn't weigh anything.
It's like a foam sword.
The other thing is, when you guys see that metal, all of you, for some reason, are like, ooh, that's my favorite metal.
Yeah.
It's orichalcum.
Elcocalcum. Yes.
And you guys are like,
And my,
oh,
my
so
staff is too.
it's kind of like when she shows it, it shines like in the movies.
Yeah.
And you guys are like, that is a nice weapon.
Yes.
You all recognize that there is something special about it that is connected to her. And it's kind of like, as she's like, this is mine, you feel like you can tell you're just kind of like, you know, ah, yes, I have my staff. It gives me
Yeah.
comfort. And you're kind of like, oh, my my breasts. You know? But
You
yeah,
got excited too with the story.
a lot of you guys, if you have artifact weapons, you
we?
instantly think of that. No, but you're like, ah, it's parked outside. Love that thing. Your horse. Boop, boop.
I was just like, oh, that is a very lovely weapon. And I can't.
And you, in your readings, you would know that is a first stage. Some of this stuff is first stage artifacts.
Yes, that would
And
be.
as you look at her, you know it's called a Gormal. That's the name they used to
Thanks
give
for
it.
the follow, Kiss Josh Booba.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I wanted to say
That is the
Instabiddle.
first stage weapon. It is front. I'm getting into
And as
more
you're
talk.
like, that's a first day, you kind of glance over at Rachel like, yeah. You just now realize that her chest plate,
Yeah.
the armor she's wearing, and it has like shoulder greaves and shoulder pads and stuff, and arm greaves.
Yeah.
Those are all, that's a set of first stage armor.
Yes. And then this is a first stage armor. This is argorarium steel. That's like my staff lantern. Yes, you can rub my staff, please. It jingles when you
All
blow
of a
it.
sudden, 16 coins fly over to your table, and all the people.
And now I'm at the money.
You want to see a first stage weapon in combat? All right, here we go.
I just kind of quizzically look back at them and look over to you and look back at them and look at the money that's thrown out.
You're joking, right?
I just kind of go
You're joking or real?
on his staff.
Oh, he's joking.
I'm joking.
You think I really reach? I wouldn't reach over and touch it. I wouldn't do this. I just thought.
I know.
I just thought since you know.
No, but I can't.
Let's fondle my breast.
Yes. Why older is see here, and the lantern is always lit, by the way, too.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like it is the same sort of materials. And you should see it. It is a great weapon. My goodness, it is hard to wield normally, but you feel attuned to it. It is probably bonded to you, as it called to you, being a first stage weapon. It has probably great power and abilities. Maybe you do not even know its full potential.
If you say.
I have said.
Yes.
Perhaps we could
you
explore. Perhaps we could explore it in our travels and have a greater bond with to understand what it can truly do to you, or for you.
That'll be something to pass the steps.
Indeed, and you and your armor. It is truly beautiful. for it is age of first set. Does it do anything for you specifically, or
Does it
protect
do anything for you specifically?
Oh yes, of course. I am, of course, a learned wizard man. But if you want to take it off and I investigate it further, very good.
Oh, if you know anything about it, you can just tell me.
All right.
You see a little monkey paw kind of reach up toward his mouth.
But he's actually kind of looking at it. And he's just touching it, you know. So it's just kind of that.
Scientific guy.
Yeah, you know, it's just like what I think this is so. What? Well, I can't say what the word was again.
Orichalcum.
Orichalcum. Yeah, the one finds this guy. Can't say it.
It's a shiny bit.
It's over your bear base.
Orichalcum.
Orichalcum powder. I need some.
Wow.
All right. Well, yeah. So
She's just allowing you to.
yeah, he really is just actually
Yeah.
looking at it. So you know, there's a difference between like
Yeah.
but it's like. So I mean, is there anything I can gleam, or should I roll?
I think the armor's probably gleaming enough on its own.
Yeah.
Especially now it's gotten a
As
good
far as what
polish.
it can do, no, not really. I mean, you can tell it's an artifact. It's tied to her somehow.
Yeah.
It probably provides more armor. It probably weighs a lot less because even your staff, like,
Yeah, I should weigh a lot more.
yeah, should weigh a lot more. So,
Okay. Well, I mean, if there's something I need to roll or look into, I would. But if not,
when it comes to artifacts and stuff for Orichalcum, use solar is actually like, I know what that is. Maybe not exactly what it does, but you know what it is.
yeah, I just didn't know with my first aid specialty if I would recognize something more about it. That's all.
Not really.
Okay.
It's first stage make. It's a metal that has been worked in a way that they don't do anymore.
Right.
What I find very interesting is your traveling house wagon.
It is nice.
That
yes.
must come in so handy.
Yes.
You burn a fire in there?
Oh, really?
Actually, would I have a little stove?
Yeah, like kind of like a little tiny fire pit or brazier.
Yeah.
No, brazier.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, the Z, not a.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, and it's quite comfortable in all weather. And
Yes, it is.
It is quite handy. It is good to have a home
I
you can
would
take with you.
think so. I would think so. I might have to find me one of those or build one
I don't know.
someday.
You really want to go soft on this now, would you?
And you could probably fit 4 people comfortably in the wagon. And you know, as far as sitting and talking or chatting,
Yeah.
sleeping
Not so
2,
much.
maybe 3 if you're close. Valis would have to sleep outside, probably, where it's just her in there. But yeah, you could fit people in. So if it's raining, you guys could get in the wagon for shelter and not be like, well, you got to stay out. If you have 2 more people join you, hey, short straws, guys.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. It's good size.
Well, I wouldn't say go soft, but anything that could make life just a little easier, as long as I could defend it. And I'd certainly have plenty of chances to defend it, I'm sure. Such a beautiful wagon as that.
Is it part of your family? You've always had it, or is it? You know, I guess you are from. What are you from?
I'm a wanderer.
Oh, Wanderer. Well, then it is.
I've come this way from the Western Isles.
Ah, all right.
He's gone around.
Around.
So, actually, I bought this from a merchant in the far western coast
Oh, very nice.
of the north.
Very nice. It is actually a very handy thing to have. Giving shelter or resource or other staying under a tent. I'm not used to this, so you're lucky to have such a good find.
Well, for one whose home is wherever it takes him, this is
That is
the
true.
perfect thing.
It is very perfect. I do not think my horse would like it so much, though.
Pick up that little cast thing.
Nico would probably
Bring
kick
it right
me
out
for
of
it.
it.
Nico would probably kick me. I said, you really think that's I'm going to haul this? No. She's very spoiled. My fault. But does seem to have a very stout horse too. So that's good.
What is your horse's name?
Nico. It means sunrise. Sunshine. I'm sorry. I can't read my own writing here. Nico. Sunshine.
Nico.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting there. What a pretentious poof.
He is a scholar, and you're kind of a con man. So yeah, you guys probably are going to be like,
What's this? So, well,
He doesn't even realize it, but
yeah. Well, that's the advantage of a perfect circle. You don't have to all get along. You're brothers and sisters, not best buds.
well, you will excuse me for a moment.
Okay.
Welcome back.
We're back. We back. All right. So you guys kind of finish chatting and eating and all that, and as you guys are kind of finishing up, you probably hear the door open up, and 5 guys come in. They look like you probably recognize most of them from the ship. Kind of rough types,
Yeah.
and they kind of come in a little boisterous. Like, yeah, look for some wenches and get some beer while we're here. That's great, you know, blah, blah, blah. And they kind of come in. And as they
I've got
kind of,
lots of extra testosterone.
as they kind of, there's like 5 guys. 4 of them look just like sailor types, kind of rough guys. One guy is wearing like what looks like a leather jerkin, padded leather shirt kind of thing. And he seems to be kind of in the back. The other 4 being kind of rowdy. He's kind of laughing, encouraging him, but he looks a little more surly than the others. The others are like, ah. He's just kind of, yeah, whatever. As they come in, kind of file toward the bar, you notice they walk past your table. One of them, well, 2 of the sailor guys kind of look over at you and then look at you and they're like, oh, speaking of wenches, how much do you charge, sweetie? And
An arm and a leg.
As you hear that, one of the bigger guys comes up and kind of like purposely hits your chair so it like scoots with you in it. Kind of like, nerd. So,
Hey, don't you do nothing to me, mister. I got superpowered.
so what am I, a golf kid?
yeah.
Like, I was waiting for him to go, hey there.
I cast Titan's Breath, so that's 10 motes.
So they kind of roughhouse their way past you guys. Yeah, the one he's like, how much do you charge, sweetie? You and your sister. And then another
Sorry,
guy.
is that one closer to her?
Yeah, they kind of walk on both. Like you guys are seated like you are. 2 of them walk on this side. One kicks his chair. The other 2 kind of pass behind you. The one of the sailors is like, nice bandana. Walking by. He's wearing the same kind of thing, but it's just a plain white, kind of filthy. And yours is all colorful.
Yeah.
He's a nice bandana. And they kind of walk on past you up to the bar. The guy in the back kind of takes behind you 2. And as he walks, he's kind of looking at you guys, kind of giving you not a wide berth, but a couple steps away. And you can tell, roll your perceptions, and if you have awareness, I'll allow it.
Difficulty is always 7.
Always 7 unless
Oh,
I
it's always 7.
tell you otherwise.
Ooh,
I got
3
two.
successes.
I got 2.
You got 3. You got 2.
2.
2. 3. He looks more like, not like, I'm sorry for the way these guys are acting. It's more like, any of you gonna get up and fight? He's just got that look like, but he walks on by. They kind of move on up to the bar. Kind of loud and
Oh, he's like sizing us up.
yeah. And one of the sailors looks over and looks at the 2 travelers that I said, the one with the man with the scimitar and the one with the shawl. He's like, how much for that, little sweetie? The one with the shawl turns around. He's got a mustache. He's like a sheik. He just like the other guy's like, oh.
I don't know.
Oh, just because I'm a ladybug means I'm a girl. Sorry, I just watched that.
So they kind of move up to the bar. You notice a couple of the patrons in the bar kind of look over, kind of like down their drinks and like, and get up and start to move out. There's like 3 of them that leave.
Yeah, it's probably a
Look
good
like
idea.
locals, like, oh god, they're in town. That kind of
Sailors are back.
You do notice there is one guy who kind of like looks at the guy who's sizing you up. He downs his drink and just kind of like, and leaves. Like maybe he knows these guys are bad news. The other sailors, this guy might be like, oh shit. He leaves. So the bartender's like, kind of sighs, walks up to the bar, the usual, like, you know it. Come on. He's like, all right, all right. And he goes to start pouring some drinks. The sailors kind of get up to the bar. 2 of them turn around, elbows on the bar, kind of looking at everybody. One of them is just blatantly staring, not at your eyes. The other ones are just kind of like looking around. One of them spits on the floor, like, and they just look like a bunch of jerks.
Okay.
You notice that 3 of the sailors have what look like cudgels, like clubs. One of the sailors does have a pretty long dagger. And then the guy with the surly guy has an actual short sword. So the bartender's like, here you go. One of the guys, actually, he sets the drinks down. One of the guys like shoves him, thanks. Kind of pushes him, and he's like, okay, okay. So they basically stand there looking around. What do you guys do?
I think it's time for me to get another mead.
I probably like, oh,
Excuse me, I am thirsty.
what do you, all right?
I'm thirsty.
All right. What's up?
Something starts to
I
walk.
was way back in there. I'm like, go over here.
Oh no, I'm walking past her.
Yeah, she gets up to walk past you.
She always,
You hear
she knows it could be trouble.
You hear some cat calls as you're walking up.
And when you say that, I just kind of.
Okay, like we practiced.
Yeah.
You made him flip his wig.
It's a dude.
That man has the best breath.
That's all right.
You do that, you know, like we practiced, and you see Ren like bare his teeth, like.
No, the other way.
No, plan 22.
22A.
It lays on your shoulder.
It's like a little
Confetti.
Yes, yes, very good.
It's very good.
So as you walk up to the bar, they're kind of like, hey. The barkeep's like, fellas, and they're like, shut up.
I would like another one of those delightful meads, please.
Yes, ma'am. And he moves away from those guys to get you a mead. They're like, so, you're not from around here, are you?
Does it show?
Do you have friends around here?
Just one's at the table.
Oh, that doesn't look very important. One of them actually tries to grab you,
Grab me where?
the butt.
Oh, really?
No, just the armor. Touch the armor. It's okay. or skull or
I'm going to
something.
kind of. He's touching my butt.
He's basically getting ready to, just about caressing your butt.
Like that, yeah, like that
I
comment.
like.
It's very John Woo looking.
Well, I'll kind of lean in while he's doing that and like reach like I'm
And
going to
these
hold
doves
hands
fly up in the
behind
air.
me. So he's doing. Excuse me. I'm putting Mike's hand near my butt. So I'm like this.
Okay. All right. She is not expecting anything, so you grab him by the pinky
Crack.
and break it.
Yeah.
Okay. No roll necessary. What is your strength?
Yeah, it is. Well, let's see. It's 3.
3? Okay.
Do you want me to add melee or anything?
Your brawl?
Yeah.
Your
Yeah. Well, yeah, I have one in brawl.
Okay.
All right. So,
All right. Let's do this. Roll melee and brawl.
let's do this.
Or not melee and brawl. Dex and brawl. I'm sorry.
Dex and brawl or strength and brawl?
Dex.
Well, no, because he's
You already
not
grabbed him.
letting you grab his hand
Yeah.
under false pretenses. So
Yeah.
just strength and brawl.
Okay. Oh God, I botched.
So you think she's caressing his finger. Oh, yeah,
I'm
boy.
like stroking his finger now.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm just buttering him up for the next one.
Yeah, you basically like grab him, and he's like, yeah.
Start playing that. Start playing that.
Yeah, boy.
You boy.
But hopefully you're bigger than that.
No, but you are.
All right.
Good pinky. I love the ground.
That whole mock battle we did last week. And I didn't botch once.
Yeah, this is your time.
Yep. Now we're going to botch.
Combat.
Yep. So you grab his hand. It does not break, and he leans in to give you a kiss.
Oh, I'm gonna kiss you.
With his
okay.
4 teeth.
I got halitosis. Would you like some?
And this is where you bite his nose off.
Oh, I was like, oh, the tongue will really gush.
Oh yeah.
All right. Yes, it is going to be with tongue, just so you know.
Four teeth. Wow, he is like handsome.
He's the looker of the group.
He's a looker. He got in a row.
Oh, by the way, I have an appearance of 4.
Ooh.
Yeah, just so you know.
I have a 3.
Not bad. Not
Where,
bad.
where's it?
Appearance. In the
Oh,
middle.
appearance.
Yeah, that's average. That's a good-looking human.
You're not one.
You're what?
I'm just got a 1.
You got one?
Oh,
But you got big boobs. Yeah.
And
They don't look at your face.
I
Shit house,
purposely
man.
drew her to look more manly because of her appearance
Hey.
as one.
All right. It's all right.
They're sailors. They don't care.
They don't care.
No, not really.
They're bigger than mine.
they're still thinking about that chic back there.
I don't. He's like, I told him, no. What do you think? 3 coin?
All right.
The one with 3 teeth. He looks pretty cute.
I don't know.
Oh, she knocked them all out. And well.
All right. So he goes to give you a kiss. What are you planning on doing?
Well, I guess the initial shock of my
Do we
non-pinky
do
breaking
initiative
ways.
now,
We're
or
going to. I just wanted to see if she's going to do something in particular, or are you going to try and attack him, or what?
I figure I failed that, so I'm
Okay.
gonna let him lean in for the kiss.
All right. Let's go to initiative.
okay?
So, where are my dice? There they are. All right. So here's how this works. Rolling initiative at the beginning of each turn. Thank you.
Your disco.
Yeah. Add your dex and your wits. How many dots do you have in dex and wits?
Okay.
Add that together.
Okay.
Then you're going to roll a d10 and add them together. Add it with that.
Okay.
And that will be your initiative. Now, you don't have weapons out yet. We would do this every turn. If you have a weapon in your hand, if it has like a speed rating, you would add that to your initiative.
We never finished mine, so
Oh, your weapon.
yeah.
Oh, let's see. Your staff. Let's see.
Well, we were talking about it because I was talking. It was like a spear staff, so
Yeah.
to make it more of a spear.
Yeah.
Speeds and
Speed. Speed is going to be +2. All right. Let me jot this down.
Okay.
Accuracy is +1.
Okay.
Just so you know, accuracy, the value added to your or subtracted from your character's dex and ability total when you make an attack. So you'll get +1
Okay.
success. Okay, then let's see, where was it? Damage is going to be 4 lethal.
Okay.
And defense is +1.
Okay.
Let me get some 10-siders out here for myself.
So 17 for me.
That's perfect music too. I got 14.
All right. Look something up here real quick. Sorry, guys, I lost my page.
You bastard!
I'm fired.
No,
Oh yeah, that's right. I was watching that Ladybug movie the other night, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it was the little pill bugs that kept saying you fired,
You fired.
you fired."
You fired.
Because yes, I'm a grown woman who watches cartoons. Pixar doesn't count.
Heck yeah.
Pixar is fine adult entertainment.
There you go.
It's written on a certain level.
Yeah.
Sophistication.
There we go. Okay. All right. So, everybody go ahead and roll initiative.
Okay, the amount of dice of your dexterity and your wit. Oh, okay. No,
How many
No.
dots do you have in dex?
I got 3.
Okay. Now how many?
wits?
2.
So that's 5.
Add that to a D10.
Now roll D10
JMTE06. What are you sending hearts for? Do you like the
I'm
bug
at
movie?
Yeah, thank you.
to begin with.
Okay.
No,
Or wait.
he rolled a 1.
Oh, you rolled a 1.
I rolled a 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, cool.
Let me double check. I think you miss out on your action. It's basically going bust. But let me double check and make sure.
Yeah, you're
Are
still
you sure
finishing
for
your thing.
initiative? I didn't think initiative you went bust. I thought
That's what I was going to look, because I know in the other game you do, but I don't remember if this one.
in other games you did.
Hold on, I got to find that page. Okay. Okay, no, you don't go bust. So, yeah, you have a 6 as your initiative.
Okay.
All right. So, everybody else,
11.
11,
17.
17,
14.
14. Okay. And then let's see, these guys. Okay. All right. So, those with the highest initiative go first. So, we can do this one of 2 ways. I think the easiest way we were doing it is just declare what you're going to do. But the old White Wolf way, which also works, is you declare up and resolve down.
I thought that's what we had decided to do.
I think that's what we did during our
And lowest inish declares first.
yeah. Because the way that works
then it
is
works its
the
way down.
lowest initiative declares first, so those with the higher initiative
Can react to it.
can react to that.
Yeah.
And then you resolve them backwards.
Yeah.
So
From high to low.
yeah.
Ah.
So like for
Declare
example,
low to high.
Yep.
Resolve high to low.
so you had a 17,
Hello.
you had a 14,
I had 14.
I have 11.
11, and a 6.
Yeah.
Okay, so Valis, what were you planning on doing?
I was just going to stand slowly off
That's
and
intimidating.
staring at the boss guy with my head just a little cocked. Like, you really want to do this kind of look in my eye.
Okay. You gonna grab your weapon?
Oh,
Yeah, while
I
grabbing
we
the
were
weapon.
probably talking, and
Okay.
I had it in my hand.
Oh, okay. All right. So you stand up with your weapon and kind of look over. Do you want to try an intimidate aim or anything like that? Because you can do that if you wish.
Just do the little.
Yeah, watch out for those mics.
Yeah,
Curse snap!
I gave myself
Yeah.
just a twirl.
Oh, okay. All right. So you can roll your manipulation. And they don't really have.
Presence.
Yeah.
Is that more individual? I can't remember.
What do you mean?
Is presence more individual for intimidation, or is that more?
Well, it doesn't matter for intimidation. Presence is kind of you can use it for one person or a group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I thought performance was like the group. So
Yeah, but the way I see it is presence is how you carry yourself. Performance is like
No.
the twirl would be.
What?
It.
Don't resolve it.
you're
Yeah,
now
you don't-
you're
you're
now
just
first.
declaring.
I'm declaring.
So you're gonna get up and try and intimidate
Yeah.
him. If you want to make a roll for it, you
Yeah.
can. All right. So next is 11s.
Yeah.
Um,
What, they had more initiative than I
they have
did?
the same as you do.
Oh, okay.
So just so you know, the big guy, the main guy, is gonna look over at her and just be like, size you up. And he puts his hand on his sword, but he doesn't draw it yet. He does nudge the guy next to him. The other four, the one with you is leaning in for his kiss. The other three glance over at your table when you stand up, and they're like, and you see their hands go toward their clubs, and they look like they're like, oh, but they're looking at the whole table. Okay. If you guys are going to do something, they're going to try and react, but right now they're like, oh, really? So those with a higher initiative are probably going to get the jump on them. Okay, Raisha, what are you going to do?
I'm going to let him put his tongue in my mouth
Oh Lord!
and bite it off.
Oh, Lord. Okay, all right, can do that.
Nah. Oh,
Now,
this guy needs a dentist.
Yeah.
Not a doctor.
now this is so far. This has been a bad example, but if you want to do a stunt, don't forget you can't. Like you're twirling, I would consider that a stunt. So when you make your intimidation roll, you'll get +1 because that twirling your big gore maul in one hand is like, yeah, that'll work. You're just gonna bite the dude's tongue off. The
Yeah.
stunt itself is letting him put it in your mouth.
Yeah.
So, all right. So 14.
All right.
Maybe I'll do an egg burp while he, right when he does it.
Oh, well, Bill, I was wrong with the egg burp with the what?
There's a bit of shell in there.
All right. So, if I can use presence, I guess. Can I like kick the chair up as I stand up?
Yeah.
And then like the monkey will basically be on the table and like kick the pass
The
up.
same thing.
Yeah, he as part of the thing. He,
Shaker.
yeah, he kicks the staff towards my hand, so it looks like it just like zipped up, you know.
No, okay.
And then I basically twirl it and go slam in the ground. I go like, "You dare assault an I'm gonna announce, you will dare assault us. You are assaulting the Isle, the sacred Isle, and you will have the wrath of the Empress upon you." And basically use my intimidation and
Okay, so you're gonna do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Barnabas.
No, that's not you. That's me. 'Cause I'm gonna fail.
Actually, I'm going to, because they're all up at the bar
Yeah.
with you. We're like out in the center.
Sort of. Yeah.
So,
You're probably like 12 feet away from him. 10.
I have my staff, but it's like locked.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to slide out of my seat and move, but I'm actually going to stealth. So I'm going to.
Okay. So while the attention is
flanking-
while the attention is on these two, you're just gonna kind of like sneak out of your seat and kind of duck around.
just
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
It almost looks like you're like, I don't want no part of this. But
Yeah.
no. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're going to go ahead and do that. I will allow you to make a stealth, dex and stealth move.
Okay.
And let's see.
So that's 8 dice.
Yep. There are no penalties or anything like that. Your difficulty is going to be 7.
4 successes.
4 successes.
Gotta love the 10.
Gotta love the 10, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Okay. They do not notice you. They're like, oh, the boobs just stood up. And then it's like,
Monkey boy.
yeah, what's with the monkey? So
Like,
you
I
managed
yell it out,
to
don't
get
you?
up and kind of move to the side. So you're already halfway around.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. The next resolve down is you, Mike.
Okay, so
So Tomo, you can roll your manipulation and presence.
now if I spent a charm, but that's going to make me glow, right?
Not necessarily. If you spend personal essence,
Yes, personal essence.
it won't.
Because if the harmonious presence, that would give me 6 motes and give me 3 automatic successes.
Damn. Okay.
So I'm going to spend. I'll go ahead and do that since we're just kind of doing this first time around,
Sure.
and we'll just try that.
So you spend
6 personal motes.
6 motes of personal essence.
Yep. So
So nothing happens. You don't glow or look like a
Okay.
glow stick or a nightlight.
So then I roll. Now, if I read that correctly, it means of my rolls, I automatically have 3 rolls, or is that in addition? That's where I'm a little confused on the charms.
It's an addition.
Yeah.
In addition.
Yeah,
Okay.
you roll plus and get how many successes, and then you add the 3 automatic successes from the charm to that.
Okay, so is it manipulation and presence? Is that what I'm going to be rolling?
Yes.
Yeah.
Your intimidation?
For me, that would be another 8.
Ooh, there's 2.
Would be
Now one's cancel or not?
No, they do not cancel.
I need a 7. So I got 3. So I got 6 total.
Okay. And
Now do I need to roll?
10s count as doubles.
Yeah, so I got 3 plus my 3 automatic successes.
So 6 successes.
And then I don't know if I have to roll for the little thing to be thrown at and me grab it or spin it and do my little stunt. Does that give me an extra roll dice for
No.
doing my
No.
stunt?
Well, it is your familiar. I'll give you an extra die because it is a stunt.
I got a 4. Yeah.
Your familiar is kind of
We've trained on this.
putting on your rings. Here's your partner.
Right.
All right, so you kick your chair back, and the monkey kicks the staff, and he kicks the salt shaker over just like you did your chair. You got, how dare you?
And probably the flame, like,
Yeah,
does it spark a little
yeah,
bit?
you guys notice the lantern, the flame just kind of
Yeah, like embers
flares
coming
just
out.
a little bit.
He's probably sitting back. What?
Yeah. Okay. In response to that, the 4 sailors are, well, the 3 sailors, because the other guy's he's kissing a hot girl. The other 3 are like, oh shit. But the guy with the leather, he's like, you're not in the aisle.
Ooh.
All right. So we resolved that down to the 11s. They were just getting ready to pull out weapons, except for the guy who's like, I love you. Okay. So you also had an 11? Would you like to chomp? Okay. So go ahead and make a strength check.
Oh,
Let's see. Hold on.
he literally gave her tongue.
And she took.
while I'm preparing for him to do that,
He got like mouthwash and his.
I'm going to be grabbing like a poultice from my belt to stuff in his mouth as soon as I bite his tongue off, so it'll start to heal.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
That's
that's
nice of you.
Yeah, he can keep that.
I'm going to consider this a stunt because you were actually biting a guy's tongue off. That's kind of unusual. You're not, I hit the guy. You're like, no, I'm going to let him put his tongue in my mouth and chomp it off. So I will give you a stunt. One
It is
plus
Tuesday.
1 die.
Okay, so strength plus 1 die.
Yeah, and yeah, okay.
Probably just has to do enough.
Yeah,
Lethals.
target number of 7. All you need is
How about linguistics? I'm just kidding.
Oh,
you are speaking in tongues.
oh!
That would be a bit of cunning language.
Oh! He said cunnilingus what?
So target
Okay,
number
so yeah.
7, 4 dice. Because your strength is 3, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you say the ones don't cancel for this?
Right.
Well, that's good because I didn't botch at least.
You didn't make it?
He's like, oh yeah, this baby. Oh, ooh.
I did so awesome in
Yeah,
the
you
mock
did.
battle. I'm changing dice.
Okay.
You poor thing. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I keep thinking this is gonna work, but now I just got a man's hand on my ass and his tongue in my mouth and
Bonus.
Yeah, bonus. How many teeth did he have?
wait, that's
Valis, go ahead and roll your manipulation and presence.
Okay, that was
change dice.
4 plus. Where's the presence?
I'm just biting my
Should
tongue.
be
yeah.
down below.
Yeah, okay, so 5, and then another one
You're
for
biting your tongue. He's biting. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Biting his tongue. You're biting his tongue. What? So
8,
confused.
9, 7, 8,
7's hit, so
and a 10. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6. Nice.
The same as you.
Yeah.
So you're like, how dare you? And you're like, really? He's like, you're not in the aisle.
And then I'm gonna say,
She's not from the aisle.
and I go like,
I'm dead.
we don't have to be.
Yeah.
All right. Next round. Initiative.
Initiatives again.
Better.
Oh, same as before. 14. 14.
That's
11.
Dex plus wit, right?
No.
It's
Added together.
1d10.
That's fine.
Just 1 die. Yep.
Ooh, 10.
Oh.
Oh, okay. So,
Well, 10 is what the die was.
right.
And
It
it's,
doesn't count as 2s or anything like that.
but
It's just
so-
the maximum you can get. So, your dex and wits was 5 altogether?
Yeah.
So,
you got 15.
15.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you the opposite way now this time.
So,
Nope, I'm still in the middle.
Yes, you are.
so lowest
Yeah.
5s. The sailors. The 3 will pull out their clubs, kind of like get those ready, and kind of get in a fighting stance. And yeah, they'll take a step forward.
Okay.
The other sailor is going to start swirling around.
Lovely.
Clean your tongue, folks. This play duck dentist.
7 is the guy with the leather.
Yeah.
He actually draws his sword, and when he does, you hear like 4 other people go under the tables.
Yeah.
And like, woo. The 2 travelers in the side just kind of like,
You're gonna watch the show.
like, oh, there's a flow show here.
Yeah.
The barkeep, the barkeep drops.
I would
Out of
like to
sight.
request that the barkeep do something. I would like him to
Go play the piano.
put my mead in front of me or slide the mead down the, because I'd ordered the mead and now this
Yeah.
is taking place. So can I have my mead in front of me now, or does it slide it
done.
down? And
It's a stunt, and you're next. 11, right? And 15. And
well, I just want to make
14s.
sure that the bartender has
14s and 15s.
Okay.
Yeah.
got my mead
Yeah,
to
on
me.
11. Yeah, he basically like
You're gonna need to clean your mouth out
the
after that.
mead slides right up in front of you. What
Yeah.
are you gonna do?
Now I would like to have a stunt. I'm going to catch the mead as it slides down the bar and
Clock him right upside
clock him
the head?
upside the head. Yeah.
Okay. So I will make that a 2-point stunt because you are using the environment around you.
Oh yeah.
So that will be 2 extra dice when you make your roll.
Okay.
Okay. You guys, who has the higher wits?
3.
4.
Okay. So you would declare first.
Actually, I'm going to spend 3 motes and use striking cobra technique.
Okay.
So that'll add 4 to my initiative. So I'm at 18.
Okay, well, we'll hold off on you then. So go ahead and mark the 3 off. All right.
And
Tomo.
then my charm lasts for an hour.
Okay, cool.
So I'm basically gonna like stick it up out of the ground, and I'll take 2 steps forward. It's just like, and I'm gonna use intimidation again and like make sure. I look at her, I look at them. I says, I'm going to try and intimidate.
Okay. You looked at Valis and then them?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you want to say?
Oh, she's highest.
Oh, okay.
We're just declaring, so.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, actually, she's next to highest now.
Yeah.
So, Valis.
I'm going to try the Hungry Tiger technique,
Okay.
supplemental on that.
Okay.
So I'm declaring that's going to be in there. For 3 essence. Personal.
Okay. And that means you're going to attack?
I'm going to attack, and I'll do the thing of I'm actually going to hop onto my chair,
Okay.
and then from there catapult myself
Flying leap.
across a flying leap.
Okay. Who are you aiming to? One of the sailors? or the main guy?
The leader,
The leader. Okay.
leather guy.
So you basically hop up on your chair and just leap off of it? at him?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to give you a 2-point stunt because you're using the environment around you. And I see it as when you leap off that chair, it's going to go flying back across the room. So you just kind of like, and the chair goes flying and you go flying right at him. So, all right. Barnabas.
All right. I'm going to spend 3 more motes for the graceful crane stance.
Is that the
And-
balance thing?
Yeah. I'm jumping up onto the bar
Okay.
and basically
Releasing
releasing the
sections.
seven piece staff
Okay.
Oh, geez.
and disarming the guy with the sword.
Okay. All right.
Which one?
The big guy.
that you're about to jump
Oh, the
on.
big guy.
I'll give you a +1 stunt for that. Because
Okay.
you're not really using the environment. The charm is just to get you up on the bar. But it is a cool, like, trying to disarm him.
Yeah.
So that would be a stunt. So, all right. So we'll resolve backwards. Barnabas, you spent your charm motes. So
And
you
actually, I guess with the staff, it would be I'm at +3 on speed, so that goes.
Oh, I forgot about
It goes even more. So, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't forget to add if you're using a weapon, the mug is nothing.
Yeah.
All right.
So the accuracy -2. with
That'll be
that.
-2 dice from your roll. Or
Okay.
is it? Let me see if it's dice or This value is added or subtracted from the character's dex and ability total when rolling for attacks using the weapon. So go ahead and roll,
Yeah.
but then you'll take, or roll, but you're at -2 die.
Okay.
And it's mainly because it's just kind of unwieldy.
Right.
Right.
So normally that would be 8 +1 -2.
Yes.
So I have 7.
Yeah.
And Stacia goes, give the dragons a treat. They will leave then. I think Boo is giving one of them a treat.
Yeah.
All right. So 4 successes.
4 successes. Okay.
No 10. So
So here's how this works. You hit. It was the guy with the sword, right?
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
trying to disarm him.
The leader with leather, right?
Yeah.
Certainly.
And he's so focused on you, eye-to-eye contact, I'm not even going to allow him to try and dodge. So you hit 4 successes.
Well, and also coming up from basically behind him.
Right, yeah.
Beside him.
So the way extras work is a little different. Basically, normally what would happen is you got 4 successes, so you roll those 4 dice and see how many successes you get. Each success would be a health level. Extras are a little different. For every 3 successes you get, they lose a health level. And then they only have 3 health levels and then they're done. Kind of like Savage Worlds. So basically you did 1 health level to him. So you come up and health level technically, but you were disarming him.
Right?
Yeah, but you were disarming him. But that's how
Yeah, like maybe
injury
he
works.
injured his thumb when it whipped out.
Probably.
Actually, what was the disarming? Because there's actually.
Oh yeah, there is a disarming thing. It should be right around. Let's do that.
Okay, reflexive wits plus combat ability governing the weapons he's wielding. So he's got to get at least as many successes as I did on the attack.
Okay.
And actually, make a dexterity plus the appropriate combat ability roll at difficulty 3 for a hand-to-hand attack.
Now, difficulty 3, the difficulty is always 7. What difficulty 3 means, he has to get 3 successes. That's how you change the difficulty.
Oh, that's
So-
3. It's not. He doesn't have to roll a 3. It's just he has to get.
He has
3
to get
successes.
3 dice above a 7
I got you.
for
Then.
difficulty 3. So,
But this time around, you
But-
said he wasn't even paying attention to him, so does
Right.
he have to do any of that?
well, we'll read that again. What was it?
Okay, it says make a dexterity plus combat ability roll, which is the martial arts,
Yeah.
at difficulty 3 for a hand-to-hand attack. So is it? I have to have at least 3 successes.
Yes. Yeah, to disarm him,
Right.
which
Okay.
you had 4
Which I had
successes.
4.
So that's right.
So if the disarming roll is successful, make a reflexive wits plus the melee
Okay. For him,
for him,
to see if he holds on
and
to
he
it.
has to get at least as many successes.
So if you got 4 successes, then he'd have to get at least 4.
Yeah.
And you might make it even more since he got surprised.
Yeah, because he has 5 dice to roll, but because he didn't even see you coming, I'm giving him a -2 penalty,
Yeah.
which means he only rolls 3 dice.
Okay.
Because he's like, ah, and you wrap that chain around his sword, and he's like, oh.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
and actually, what I'm going to do if I'm successful with it to continue the stunt, I'm basically pulling it out of his hand and making it and throwing it to where it sticks in the wall.
got it. Okay, so here's how this works. Weak. He's like, all right, bitch. I'm not on the aisle anymore. And you basically zing, and he looks as his thing just ting.
Yeah.
So the way stunts work, that was a 1 die stunt that I gave you.
Mm-hmm.
But since you're using his sword to continue the stunt, I'm going to give you 2 motes of essence back. When you would successfully complete a stunt, you get rewarded essence back.
Okay.
So he just spent, 6 motes on that
Yep.
one move?
Mm-hmm.
It only cost you 4 because your
I
stunt
gotcha.
was successful. Normally, if you had mentioned you were doing that with the sword, I might have made it a 2 bonus die, but even though you didn't declare it and you had it happen, I'll give you the mote back for it because that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
All right. So that was you. All right. Valis, you were next. So you're going to launch yourself football style or human missile style at this guy. And are you going to just whack him?
I'm using the hammer
Right.
side of the thing as opposed
Right.
to the blade.
Okay.
So yeah, this is gonna be a whack.
Okay.
Whoa.
Now, just to promote some ultra violence,
Yes.
would you like to somehow make a stunt out of that? How do you whack him? Do you want to knock him over the bar into the barkeep? Do you want to?
The 2 guys over the thing. Well, looks like the house is about to fall over. She's 3-1
wanna-
right now.
Pull yourself from the handle and then whip it around.
Aline, what you did? I remember when I
you
was
can
in
think of a
combat
creative-
before. I was
otherwise,
leaping
just
tack attack.
As I'm launching, I'm going to do a forward flip in midair at him, and then
Just bring it right down.
Just bring it right down on him like a driving nail.
I'll give that a 1 point.
We
point
shall
stun.
call her Valis Gallagher.
It's like moving like ash from
Yeah, I
under
got
the
my
darkness.
own melons.
Yeah.
Yo,
The two other guys over there like, hey.
yo, he
Okay.
bitch. Let's go.
Okay, so
They've got plastic bags they put over there. Where the fuck are those?
Sailors are like, oh, Melody.
okay, so this would be what, strength and melee?
No, this is to hit. It's going to be Dex plus melee.
Dex plus melee. Okay, that's 6 dice.
Okay.
Okay.
You're going to get a +1 because of your stunt.
So 7.
Now, is there a
Now, does your
negative
charm give you
on your
something?
accuracy?
The Gormal, I don't know if there is. Well,
What's it say about Gormal and
I'm gonna look it
paper for
When
accuracy?
I'm using the Hungry Tiger, that gives me that extra successes count twice for determining damage.
okay, so we'll keep that in mind. But let me look at the Gormal.
But the Gormal, do you have the stats for the Gormal written down?
I don't know if he actually wrote that down on
I
anywhere
have it
else.
here.
Oh,
If you want to jot these down,
Yes.
where is it? Okay, here we go. Gormal. Speed of 0. Accuracy +1.
You
There you
get
go.
extra die.
You get extra dice.
Damage 6 lethal. Defense +1. So in this game there is lethal damage and bashing damage. Unarmed combat is usually bashing damage, or like martial arts, brawl, that kind of thing is bashing. Anything generally with a weapon is lethal.
Now, can you change it to be bashing?
You can.
Okay.
If you want to like pull your punch, I would
Gotcha.
allow it.
Okay.
And essentially, if you lose all your health levels to bashing damage, you're just knocked out.
All right.
If you guys happen to take damage, I'll show you how that works, because there's a certain way you can mark it down, and there's aggravated damage from like magic and stuff. So,
Okay.
all right, Dennis, you ready?
Yeah.
So you got your dex and your melee.
And my son.
You got +1 for your stunt. You got +1 for your
Yep.
Gormal.
and any successes count twice?
Well, damage. So go
Damage
ahead and
wise.
roll. See
Oh,
how many
any damage.
successes you get.
Okay, let's see.
7.
7, 10,
9.
that's a 9, and that's a 6. So 3 and one of which is a double.
So you got 4.
4
damage.
successes. Okay.
So what? 3 successes? Yeah, four successes.
All right. So that's 4 successes. The only way he can soak it is with his armor, which is 1. So
Does he have any on his head?
3 successes get through, right?
Yeah.
However,
Well, he doubles.
it
the
doubles.
ones-
So it's 6 successes.
Oh, jeez. Because it's 3, so it's
Okay.
doubles.
Now he already
Oh,
took
okay, so the whole damage.
Damage.
double.
whatever successes get through,
Get through
count
double.
twice.
Okay, so 6.
Ooh.
So 6 damage. You already did 1 wound to him with 3 from disarming him. You just come down, whack, and do 6, which is 2 more. They only have 3 health wounds. So you basically come down,
He splattered.
whack. You hear a sickening crunch and a couple snaps, and he basically collapses like a rag doll. Essentially, you broke his neck, several of his ribs, and both his knees.
Jeez.
So you whack, and it's like Looney Tunes hammer, but without the loony part.
Yeah.
So you bring him down, and he just is killed instantly. So, okay. That was Valis.
All right.
So who had
Good
the
job, guys.
next?
Good
I
job,
think it
guys.
was
Me.
you.
Yep.
All right.
So as she kicks the chair out,
And the chair goes flying back.
yeah, I'm going to jump up on the chair. And then if I can I do like a flip in it, or I got to roll for that or not?
We're
Well, no,
on the
you
opposite
already
side
had
of the
your-
tables.
Huh?
But we're on the opposite side of the tables.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, you'd already declared what you were doing, though.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to do. I was kind of going to jump up and make a thing with my intimidation.
Okay.
So if I could like step on her, make it like stepping on the chair, she kicked away.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
oh,
she's
pointed out.
so it kicked that way.
Okay. Well, if I can do like a little tap off the side of the monkey, go down there and like push my foot up.
Now I would allow, because keep in mind turns are like a couple seconds.
Yeah.
You kicked your own chair away.
Yeah.
And as it's sliding, you could easily step back up on your own chair.
Right. Okay.
So you could do that.
I'll do that, and then the monkey could push me up off the thing as I lip and like come down again, and as I hit, I'm gonna do that intimidation. It says, and neither are you.
So you're gonna jump up on the chair and then like flip off the chair,
Yeah.
and
then
the monkey's gonna help you.
yeah.
Okay.
So flare it up more.
Yeah. Actually, it's your familiar. I'm gonna role play your familiar. I know what he's gonna do.
Yeah. And then I don't know. I'd already declared, but that I just thought about. I can make that lantern bright up, by
Yeah.
spinning a mote. Could I do that?
Yeah.
During that process
Yeah.
to kind of emphasize
Yep.
the intimidation.
Okay.
So I'll spin a mote so it kind of like flares,
Right.
but it's only one.
Right.
So.
So, all right. So it is a stunt, and you don't have to worry about dex and athletics or anything like that. But I am going to allow you to add that to your manipulation and presence roll.
Okay. But I still have that one going in effect, so I automatically get 3
Yep.
plus my normal 6. All right. There's 1. I got 2. I got 2 successes, so 5 total.
5 total. Well, that's not bad. All right. So you basically jump up on the chair as it finishes spinning.
Yeah.
You actually step up on the chair, leap off, and kind of do that somersault in the air,
Yeah.
and just bang. And as you do, and the embers fall
Yeah.
off, and hanging by his tail, he jumps up over your head, and when he lands, he wraps his tail around one of those rings,
Yeah.
and swings around the staff, and as the embers go, he perches on top of it.
He got him with them.
Instead of helping you up, he's actually going to help you intimidate him best he can. So yeah, as you flip up in the air,
So that guy goes down with her maul and is dead, and he says, and neither are you. You ain't nowhere.
so
Oh my.
go ahead and give your
So you're not even intimidating him. You're intimidating a dead man. But it's the whole group.
yeah. So Sailor's like, he just intimidated the dead guy.
The dead guy's like, oh.
Yeah, one final.
I think it was the roll creature. I was really scared.
Neither will you. As the body releases gas. So I will give
Right
you.
then, it's bells.
I will give you a
let
point of a mode of essence back.
Okay,
for
so I get that
It
with
was
it.
+1.
Yep.
Okay. So that goes to you.
Oh, catch the muggin.
Smack him. So it's dex and melee.
Dex and melee?
Melee or brawl. I'll let you use whichever's higher. Because it's kind of like throwing a punch, but you're also using an improvised weapon. So
Your melee's better.
Yeah, the melee's better.
use that then.
And then a +1 for the stunt.
Yeah. Because you grabbed it on the fly and swung
And
it up.
this is ones don't cancel,
Don't cancel.
Don't cancel.
but 10s are doubles.
Yeah.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. 3.
3 successes.
Good.
Okay. He doesn't. He's like, oh, this is awesome.
I don't know what that cracking sound is, but maybe it's my pants.
Yeah. It's like, I think I broke my zipper. All right. So you swing up to him, 3 successes.
Mm-hmm.
All 3 get through because he can't soak it. He's not even wearing armor of any kind. So you do a wound to him. So you come up, crack! The thing probably splinters. Mead goes everywhere. You've got the handle still in your hand. And he basically like, oh, his tongue slides out of your mouth. And he just kind of like staggers back. Like, hey!
Can he trip over the dead guy?
No, not yet.
Damn it.
You can use that in your next stuff. All right, so that would be these guys, huh? I better roll the willpower.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh.
I just intimidated the hell out of him. Well,
Well, I think she did it.
They killed Kenny.
Yes.
Okay.
You bastard.
you bastards.
All right.
This Kenny died.
Okay. One of them is going to swing at you, and one of them is going to swing at you because the one at the other end of the bar where you were is going to. Wah! But I'm going to give him a -1 penalty because you're probably not that close to him, were you? Because you had the reach. Or did you want to be right next to him when you disarmed the guy? Because he would be on the other end of the line. What do you think?
I would have used the reach.
Would you use the reach? So
Yeah.
I'll give that guy a -1 because you're probably just out of
actually,
reach.
Also, I'm still up on the bar,
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
so I have the height. I have the height advantage.
I have the high ground, Anakin. Okay, so, all right. So he's going to swing at you, but he's at -1. And one of them's going to swing at you. So, okay. Yeah.
I'm not.
All right. Here's how this works. You are going to take, technically, he has 3 successes to hit you. So you can roll your dex and dodge or parry, whichever you want to, which is dex and melee.
Or martial arts.
I would allow martial arts.
Because actually, my staff is a.
It is a
+2
martial arts weapon.
defense.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So you can use that. The way dodges and parries work in the game, I changed it a little bit. I like this way better.
Mm-hmm.
In a turn, you can dodge as many times or parry as many times as you want. But in one turn, your first dodge, normal, roll. Your second dodge is a -1 die. And it's cumulative.
Yeah.
So if you're dodging like 5 guys in a turn, each time you do, you're losing a die because
Yeah.
it's getting harder to do it. And parries are the same thing. They're 2 different categories, though.
Yeah.
So, but this is your first parry, so you can use dex and martial arts at your full
Yeah.
pool.
And then the defense, is that add 2 dice?
Yes.
Okay. So, what would be normally 8 plus 2, so 10 dice.
And Valis, if you want to get ready to do yours, he had 2 successes. So you can either use dex and dodge or dex and melee to dodge or parry.
Dex and dodge, and then can I use the Fist of Iron because to my next action, hand-to-hand strikes do lethal damage, and can safely parry lethal damage blows with hands. Well, now he's using a weapon though.
Yeah, he's using a club.
He's using a club, so okay.
Dex and dodge.
Yeah, okay.
How many did you get?
8, 8, 8, 8, 9. 5 successes.
Okay, so he misses total. Okay, so Dennis, if you want to roll.
Okay, so actually, I'll use Reading the Wind. So each mote spent, 2 dice are added to dodge versus an attack. I'm assuming that I can anticipate and see this thing coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll use 2 motes on that.
Okay.
I like my Serpentine Evasion better.
So
Yeah, that one's pretty badass.
so the dexterity 3, dodge 3 is 6. 4, 5, 6, and then I'm spending 2, so that's an extra 4 dice. But I have to roll another 2 dice twice. Okay, there's a 9. And 7, so I got 2 successes altogether.
And he had 2 successes to hit, so you actually managed to move out of the way.
Yeah.
Pretty easy.
I'm dancing along the top of the bar, spinning this 7-section staff.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so that would be next turn, correct? Okay, roll initiative.
Oh. 17. Roll a 10.
Oh, we're rolling initiative.
These guys aren't pooping themselves?
2. I got
They're mostly drunk.
2.
2. Okay. So that's 7 for you.
What?
You rolled a 2 plus your...
I got 2 successes.
No, you roll one die.
Oh,
One
I'm
die.
sorry.
Yeah.
One die,
Initiative.
add those together. Add your
Dexterity and wits.
Dexterity and wits.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
What I did on some of my NPCs is up in the corner, I wrote initiative and then add your
Yeah.
dex and wits. So it's you just roll D10 to add it to that.
Yeah, I just know it's 5 plus 8.
Number dex plus number widths.
And like I said, I just added the dex and wits and wrote it up there.
Plus 1 die. Okay. So that's dex and widths, dex and widths, dex and widths. Okay, so that's 5. 5 plus 9. 14.
So 14, 17,
17.
17, 20.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. All right. So, and they have an 8. So, let's see. I'm going to roll the willpower this time around. Success. Okay. The one that swung at you, Valis, and missed,
Yeah.
basically like looks at the door and is like, I'm out. He's going to start running for the door, but he's going to have to run past you.
Okay.
Okay. The one that was swinging up at you, Wade, doesn't really pay any attention to what's going on behind, so he's still attacking. And the guy who you just hit with the mug, Bobby, is going to pull out his own club. His weapon club, not his other club. He's not that excited now.
Yeah.
But he's going to draw his club. And yeah.
Happy little tree.
Yeah. It's a nightclub, see?
Oh. Ooh.
Feedback. Okay, so yeah, he's gonna draw out a club. The guy with you is gonna try and swing at you again, and the third guy is like, I'm done. He's going for the door. Oh, and the fourth guy, I forgot the fourth guy. He's gonna take a swing at you, Valis. So he's like, hey, I'll get you. Okay, so that was who had you have 17s, 14, and 20?
20.
So 14, Valis, that would be you.
Yeah.
So this guy's rearing back to swing.
Okay. I am just gonna go ahead with my hammer thing and just wail onto him
Just
straight, yeah, just straight on.
okay. All right. So that's what you'll be doing. Tomo, you had the higher wits.
Yep. So what I'm going to do is the guy runs past. I'm just going to step to the side and chirp, which is a signal to my little guy to like jump down and kick the chair over to like have him trip.
Oh, okay. So
You
the
know.
monkey's gonna.
Or kick something so it makes him want to trip, and then I'm going to spin the staff around and hit him in the butt and knock him out the store.
You could do that all with the staff.
Okay.
You could just thunk,
Yeah.
and then
boot him out the
boot
front
him out
door.
the door.
Yep.
Okay. I will give that a stunt for +1.
And if he want, he can jump on my his head. And,
The Rin will ride him out. Yeah, might do.
yeah, whatever he wants. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Vault from the bar, flip over the guy that's swinging at me, and as I'm over the top of him, I'm smacking him with the staff
Got it. Okay.
twice. So I'm gonna split my.
Oh, okay. All right. I will give you a 1-point stunt for that. Bobby, how about you?
Hi.
Eat chips.
Nope. I'm coming up with something entirely cruel.
Entirely cool or cruel?
Both. I
Okay.
said cruel.
Oh, yeah, I thought you did.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I didn't use any charms or spells or anything for the mock battle, so I'm gonna tell you what I want to do.
Okay.
He's reaching for his hub. I want to use. Can I use 2 charms at once?
Yeah, you can do combos.
Combos.
Great.
What 2 you want to use? Or go ahead and describe what you want to do.
Well, I want to use Wise Arrow, but the thing is I want to just pull an arrow out and use the Wise Arrow to help guide the arrow into the guy's head.
Okay.
And then I want to use Fiery Arrow
To
attack.
ignite it.
Yes, ignites flammable liquid, which his head is now covered in mead.
That's right.
To
Hot
set
shot.
his head up.
That's right over there.
So I want to spend points to use Wise Arrow to help me not miss,
Right. And then
and
A
Fiery
charm.
Arrow attack
to ignite it.
to ignite it.
That's fine.
Okay. All right, so this way it goes. For each mote spent, PC adds 1 die to attack roll.
Okay.
So how many motes you want to spend?
Um,
Does that mean she gets
let's
extra
see,
dice to roll?
Yeah, for every mote she
spend
spends,
as
an
a
extra die.
before roll cannot exceed dexterity and archery. I cannot spend more than 5 motes. Is that
5.
what that means?
Yes.
Yeah, what's your dex and archery added up together?
5.
Yeah, so you can't spend more than 5 motes on that one.
You get 5 extra dice. You're gonna roll 5 now anyway,
Right.
Or is it melee? That's more. Or yeah, it'd be whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I'm rolling 5 as it is.
Yeah, it'd probably be dex and melee. Is that the same?
Dex and yeah.
Okay.
No, it's not the same. Yeah, that's what I was going to have one question because
It'd be
I'm
4
not actually
dice.
using archery, but using
That's
my
fine.
archery charm.
So that's
To
4
help guide
dice.
the
And that's
arrow.
fine. Yeah, that's fine.
So it'd be 4 dice,
So you could,
and that, but it can't exceed 5.
yeah. So you'd roll 9 dice at max total.
That's just to hit him.
Right.
And that's using. Okay, so my
Personal essence.
personal essence is. So, I'll use 4 motes.
Okay. And then you wanted to use fiery arrow.
4. And then I want to use Fiery Arrow. Arrow ignites flammable materials and adds dice equal to PC's essence to damage. Arrow cannot be recovered. So my essence.
Now she doesn't have to use that unless she actually hits
No, you have to declare it before.
beforehand. So she's spending the essence either way. Gotcha.
Okay. So I have 3 essence. So
How much
I
does it
can
cost?
spend that much of motes, right?
It should
Or
have.
no.
It should have a cost.
Arrow ignites flammable materials and adds dice equal to PC's essence to damage. So it automatically adds. But I
Right.
have
Yeah, but there's a
But
cost
you have to
for it.
spend how many? Oh, here it is.
cost 2 motes.
2 motes.
motes, so-
So spend 2 motes of essence.
2. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So that's
So roll 9 dice.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you're first. Go ahead and roll your 9 dice to see if you hit him.
I gotta get something now. Six.
There's no way he's even going to be able to dodge it even if you rolled. So 6 dice will get through. So,
Andy's on fire.
well, yeah. So, and it adds dice to damage.
It adds 3. It's gonna add 3 dice to damage.
Okay, so that's 9. 6 plus 3 dice. So that's 9 points of damage. He
Okay.
only has 3 health levels.
You basically incinerate him.
He's like, hey, bitch. Instantly Ghost Rider.
Raisin would be proud.
And Zen's like, I like this chick. So basically, you stab through his head, probably piercing his cheek up into the roof of his mouth, and then it
Actually, just
burns.
straight through the temple.
Yeah,
Just-
yeah.
Like the cartoon thing.
Straight right through. He's like,
He's melonhead.
You let the arrow go, and he basically staggers back and just falls to the ground.
Yeah, arrow cannot be recovered, so it'll
Yeah.
Explode.
Yep. It smells like burnt hair and pork. All right. So that guy's done. 17. So we'll resolve you first.
All right, so I'm just gonna do the boop and boot.
Yep.
Out the
So
door.
I would say you just want to trip him.
Yeah, trip and boot him out the door.
Okay. What is your dex and athletics? Or do you have athletics?
I do not have athletics.
Do you have melee?
Yes.
Okay. What does that add up to?
With my specialty with the staff, so I have 6 total dice.
6 total dice?
Yeah.
You don't even have to roll.
Oh.
The way this game works, he has 4 combat dice to avoid any damage. If you exceed that, it's an automatic success. If I declare,
If you declare.
in combat, usually not, but this is you're tripping the guy and hitting him in the butt.
Yeah. I'm not
You're
trying
not
to knock him
actually
out.
trying to kill him or anything. It's
He's
just
leaving anyway, so I'm
him.
helping. Yeah.
You have 6 dice to do it. The only thing you could roll would be 4 dice, so he's not.
Yeah.
So you basically trip him as he staggers, hit his butt,
Yeah, I just whip around with the chains and do that spank.
spank him. He goes out.
And he watches his writing. Ah! I don't know what he does.
Jaws of the wolves out.
Yeah. yeah. Actually, yeah. So Ren jumps up on his head.
Yeah.
And it's basically he's riding his head with his ears as reins. And just kind of like, and he's clawing his ears. So he's
Yeah.
like, oh, son of a. And as he goes through the door, Ren actually does a little backflip and lands on the door frame.
Yeah.
And you hear, and you hear a scream.
2 chickens was an well done.
Oh, hey, look, the main entree. So he goes out, you hear screams, followed by more screams in the street. Okay, and Valis.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I forgot you.
yeah, we're
So-
both the same. So
you danced him around the top, did a flip, and then conked him on the way down. So it's a
Yeah.
+1 stun.
Yeah, but I would split it, so
Oh, yeah, you're going to hit
4
him
and
twice.
3.
Yep, you can do that.
All right, so the first one has 2 successes.
Okay.
And 2 successes.
He only dodged 1 of them out of those. So 3 successes got through. So you just clunk. Yep. Whack, whack.
I
He
flip
takes
over him.
he takes 1 wound. So he's like, oh, son of a bitch. So you flip over. You land on the ground or on a table or
you still got that
yeah,
thing going
or,
on. so-
or on somebody's head or a pencil or what. you could. You can land on his staff if you want.
Are you one of the angels dancing on the head of a pin?
Yeah.
Actually, I'll land on a chair.
On a chair?
On the back.
On the back of the chair.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you kind of like flip, whack, whack, and as you land on the chair, I see you putting your feet on either side of the back of the chair and just squatting down. Just kind of like perched there, without the chair tipping over or anything.
Yeah.
The guy's like, "Ow!" and then sees you staring at him. He's just like, "How's he doing there?" Okay. Ow,
What
Valis.
was that?
Okay.
I'm still
I'm going to try the excellent strike along with this, so that for 3, so that'll give me an extra die for each one.
Okay.
So this is the what for the actual attack hit?
It's going to be Dex and melee to hit him.
Okay, 3 plus melee 3 plus the 3 for those modes, so 9 altogether.
So 9 dice to hit him.
Just re-roll 1. Okay, 7, 7, 10, 10. That's 6, okay. And a 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7 successes. I'm not even gonna roll. Like I can't even dodge any of that. It doesn't matter. So 7 successes. So every 3 is a wound.
Yeah.
So that's 2 wounds. And this guy I don't think had been wounded yet. No, he hadn't. So you basically whack, and he just slams back into the ground. Probably. Well, let's do that. Yeah, let's do some knockback with this guy. Whack! He flies up 2 feet off the air and slams into the wall and just kind of face plants. Knockback is if you do more damage than their stamina, they get knocked back. You guys can get knocked back into walls, through walls, but with you guys, it's like get knocked into a brick wall, which collapses, and you get up. Like, what the hell was that for?
Yeah.
So that's knockdown is somebody hits you and you instantly just go, poof, but then you can pop back up. Mortals, same effect, not recovering.
Right.
So you basically come up, "Ugh," and the guy just goes like a baseball, like you just hit a pop fly.
And it's good.
Slams into the wall and just collapses on the ground. And as he does, he kind of like drops his club and he's like doing that, slowly getting back up.
It is 10:15, so just so you know.
Yeah.
And that's basically the other guy is already out the door. The one that you knocked is like, dude, grabs him, comes on because you were like just sitting there looking at him.
Yeah.
Grabs
Actually,
him.
the next round, if it continued, I was going to do the invisible statue spirit just disappear.
Yeah, he would have ran definitely. So basically, he grabs his buddy and takes off. The barkeep looks up and he's like, "Thank you. We'll clean up the mess. Thank
Yeah,
you."
and I go up to him and I go like, "Forgive us. We were looking into these Riskins. They've been harassing you for some time, haven't they?" I actually got the moat thing going.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man.
It's just like, the Starlight Empire is here to defend its people against Scrovians. I throw a bunch of, I have my resources free, so I'll throw a bunch of coin down. Pick up the mess. I'll fill out the paperwork.
Okay.
And with my bureaucracy, I'll just kind of like, I'll say whatever is said to be said or whatever.
Okay.
I don't know if there's a magistrate here in town or,
Probably not.
You taking these?
I wouldn't mind holding on to the artwork if I could.
and if I could scan them in, that would help too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll do that. Make it sound like we're all part of that with my automatic successes, and just be like, "Oh, we were after these guys. Good job. We'll take it from here."
Yeah.
We knew exactly how to deal with them.
Time to go.
Thanks for lunch.
And I'm throwing, we go back to the table and pull my chair back, sit, take another swig out of that cat.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks for playing.
Thank you. Be seeing you.
Bye.
All right, have a great time. Bye bye.
Bobby, you just want to hand your drawing of ratio